Happy Tuesday! We're getting hijacked, people. Tree and I are tied to a bumper somewhere, and a bunch of really nice guys were like, hey, look, we're taking over your show. And they just basically said, you're going to give up your feed to us. All your base are belong to us. We're going to talk about NASCAR. Here we go. It's the first ever NASCAR weekly podcast dumpster fire crossover event.
And my camera's not working.
Tree and I did 8 hours of time yesterday, and we had everyone in basically the football and hockey world that we know come on. MMG backed out at the very last minute. No blame.
A lot of things flamed through. Yeah. That's why we invited so many people as we did. It happens.
Things happen. But we have Black Flags Matter, the Iceberg, Danny B Talks, and Eric Estep all showing out tonight for the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. And the idea that I had was we're going to treat it just like it's the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. So it's their show. They've got the topics. They've got the things that they want to talk about. Tree and I are NASCAR fans, but not to the level of knowledge that these fellows have right
it's
here.
It's been about like 20 years since I've been like that.
Yeah, Tree thought Ross Racing was still competitive, so.
Yeah. Well, the one race that I went to in 2000, Mark Martin led, it was at Richmond. Mark Martin led the majority of the race, and then at the end, Tony Stewart won. And then the night before, Matt Kenseth was still on the Busch Series, and he won the night before. So that's how long it's been since I've been on a NASCAR race. Now, the only catch is we will read the super chats. Tree and I will. But why don't y'all kick it off with whatever you guys had in mind for your opening, and get people to lick that like button. And then we'll read some supers after about 10 or 15 minutes, whatever, or maybe 5 minutes.
We don't need to do too much because we will be doing this again tomorrow night on our own.
Yeah, pretty much. So we got to save up some things.
So what you should do is just download this and then re-upload it, and you guys
just save it night. Just save it.
Yeah, then I can say NASCAR Weekly Podcast featuring urinating Tree and 5 points. Here you go.
Giving away our secrets live on the air.
You could pop in for like 5 seconds. Boom, clickbait featuring 5 points Fitz.
There you go.
Hey, I was in a Zoom call today with Pitbull among about 100 other reporters. So, I could just throw in a clip of Pitbull that is not really mine.
Just take credit.
Pitbull crashes the NASCAR.
With the right sunglasses, I could look like Pitbull.
You
with
could
the mask on.
Honestly.
You could.
Yeah.
Shave off the beard.
Nah, he looks more like 8 Mile. He looks more like 8 Mile. Eminem from 8 Mile. What you mean?
He looks like old Aang from Avatar.
See, 5 Points had a hoodie on yesterday for a moment, and he immediately reminded me of Eminem from 8 Mile, and I was just laughing inside.
Yeah, like you were looking cold there for a second.
See?
I think I look more like Cheddar Bob. I'm just gonna shoot myself. Pretty much every time I open my mouth, that's what happens. When
looks like a ballpoint.
Anything involving my wife, I'm just like, oh, yep, I messed up again.
It seems like you're like a guy from Northern England about to join a local gang.
I was thinking
it's like you're about to go play some footy in the club.
Hey, you want to play some footy, mate?
I was thinking Slavic, actually.
Actually, let's read these supers before we get to talking about NASCAR, because everything's piling up here, and I want the show to flow the way that, even though I did say that you guys were going to run the show, I do want to get these out of the way because I don't want people waiting 20 minutes for their super chats. Chris Chase Elliott is the defending champion, which reminds me he was sponsored by Hooters. What should we look forward to this season? What are we going to look forward to, boys?
One of the biggest things is going to be Bubba Wallace and how does he do with his new team that should be better equipment compared to what he's had in the past, which has always been the biggest argument. Oh, he's not in a good car. Well, now he's in a good car.
Yeah, no more excuses for Bubba Wallace anymore. So
He's
yeah,
tired.
that's one of the things. That's one of the things to look forward to. Also, the abundance of road courses on the schedule this season. You know, I've been really getting into a lot of IndyCar and F1 over the past couple of years, and now NASCAR is kind of going that route. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm looking forward to the dirt track.
Oh yeah,
Track at
I
Bristol.
will
Yeah,
be
man.
there for that.
yeah. Danny will be there.
When are you going? When is that?
That is on the weekend of March 28th, I think.
It's
Right
only a
before Easter.
4-hour drive for me, but I guess the COVID is still like. Are they
Well,
still doing limited tickets? Like,
The ticket's already sold out.
oh, so I
Yeah.
can't
You
even
could,
sneak
you could
in.
probably get a ticket to the truck race on the day before.
Yeah.
So
You
is
go
it
to a little truck
you
ride.
guys don't have the VIP like you used to, where you can be like, hey, can we get some hot passes? They're like, nah.
Pretty much. I
will not-
just account for that to not be a thing until COVID's actually gone.
Yeah,
Might
it's
be
been a
for few
while.
more years.
Yeah,
You
in
get to-
the
you get
year
to-
2031 it'll be back to normal. Hopefully
Yeah.
we'll
Maybe
all
we can
be
get back to
alive.
spring training at the same time too. Right?
Yeah.
Hey.
Together 89 5 points. I saw you got a G920 wheel a few weeks ago. What racing sims are you playing or planning to play with it? I want to do the iRacing, so I got this bad boy right here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was showing me that.
That was a
yesterday.
big,
As,
little.
as he has a picture of NASCAR hate behind him.
I think so. I definitely
that's
want to
not-
do.
Is that NASCAR heat? Or no, that's
Mhm.
Texas.
That's NASCAR hate of Texas.
I'm a little selfish because I want to do F1 racing. I think it'd just be more interesting to do a road course because I think how my brain works is I like. Have y'all ever read the book called The Talent Code? Do you know what that is?
No.
I've heard of it, but I haven't read it.
I skimmed through it because I was assigned it for work and I just kind of skimmed through it. But basically the premise is that the more you do something, you build up this substance called myelin in your brain that allows you to do repetitive tasks or get smarter, essentially. It's like molecular. And I like the idea of having to memorize tracks and having to execute on a way that I just keep improving. So I'm very selfishly going to race the F1 first and then maybe go on. Maybe I'll get bored with that. But I
think-
really go ahead.
If you do iRacing, there's like you can do like have cup cars or whatever, but be on like F1 tracks, for instance, or different tracks. like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can do almost anything, basically.
But you have to buy them though. That's the catch.
You do have to buy them, yeah.
Okay,
But
so
it's the number one sim in the world.
So everyone needs a super chat so he can afford iRacing.
yes. So school me. What do? I sign up for like a subscription.
Well, I think you have to buy the actual game itself, which I think is what, $20?
It's a monthly subscription to have iRacing services. You buy DLC content on top of it, which it's like $10-15 for everything you're going to want to get, like each. So it's more like you just get a few things at a time, really. Drop $30 here, drop $30 there.
Do any of us here have iRacing? I don't think.
No.
I had it for a while, stopped using it because I was
Cheap.
terrible, but I did try it out.
I'm
See,
just
we're like the target demographic for it too. But my thing is, it just feels like it would take way too much time to like really get good and commit to it.
Or then should I get NASCAR for the Xbox?
I need a much better.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, no.
No.
My problem is for me to want to do iRacing, I need a better PC setup because like mine can barely run the graphics or anything. Like honestly, I need what my work gave me to do iRacing, but that's just for work.
Hey, Ty Majeski's run iRacing on like some 1999 laptop or something, and was winning races on FS1 this last year. So I think the hardware is the least of any of our concerns. It's just
You're probably
it's
looking
the
at graphics and
skill.
processing. Those are probably
Yeah,
the two
I've got a
key things.
tricked out PC. Trust me.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Yeah.
have the graphics processor, the RAM, the memory, and sort of just the data processing, you should be fine.
Mhm.
Hey now, don't get me started. You're talking about RAM now.
Oh, there's a lot more RAM. I'm into like about 24 gig double sticks, baby.
Red Rhino 94. I was excited for NCAA coming back for 2 seconds until I realized it's being made by the same company that gave us Madden. We'll wait and see. That's the one thing that's why I bought the wheel, honestly, is because I've been playing NHL for so long, and the game really makes me want to break stuff. Like that's how frustrating and angry I get playing. Like I still love it because it's the only game. Like when you play a game and it's the only game that gives you the thrill of like winning and talking shit and dunking on people, but you also hate it because it screws you in unimaginable ways, and you're just I can't do this. I can't live mentally like this.
I know EA has their own problems, but that will probably be the game to make me want a PS5 for the simple fact that I am a Tennessee Vols fan and graduate, and I need something to make them somehow better in virtual reality.
That's right. You need to do Dynasty mode or something.
You also have to note that it's not sponsored by the NCAA. It's just college football.
Yeah.
So I think the thing is, I think modders will help out with that, and they'll as long as they have the template and they're able to edit it, they should be able to put in the schools. And I don't know about the players, but
so it doesn't even have the schools, official schools.
I don't know about the.
I thought that they're getting the logo like that. That would suck. It'd be like Tennessee College, and then they'd be like instead of orange, they'd be the exact
instead of the Tennessee Vols, they're the Tennessee Balls instead.
Or it'd be the Tennessee conscription, right? Whatever the opposite you could think of, right?
Even Tennessee football tweeted something about this. So I don't know.
It'd be the Auburn Tiger Kings, baby. That's right. Red Rhino 94. Until then, I'll look at the tall lady from Resident Evil. Yes, I'll go to hell jail now. Can you not type in hell?
Hell and jail. Wow.
Yeah. Well, we're all going. Well, Vulgar Night 2 nights after yesterday. Tree and I are going to hell. All the weekend. Vulgar Night 297. This is a super team. Not even the Brooklyn Nets can defend against. Oh, shit.
Well, the Brooklyn Nets can't defend against shit. So
they lost to the Wizards last night.
Well, I find it more disturbing. Did you see that score is 147 to 143? His defense.
As a lifelong Rockets fan who had to watch Antony and Harden for 4 or 5 years, I'm used to those 140 to 150 type scores, and they're hard to watch.
Hey, Eric, are the Rockets still a playoff team?
They're on a 6-game win streak.
Yeah,
I know.
That's what happens when you get rid of the cancer.
Hey, Christian Wood is a beast, bro.
The country will know his name if they don't already.
He's gonna be like Tyler Herro, just come out of nowhere again.
Yeah.
Alan Nadeau, we need more crossovers like this. Yes, we've been asked about this many times. Both Tree and I have appeared on your weekly podcast.
It's been a while, but I've been on, I think,
knowledge.
a couple times.
Yep.
And then
first season.
2003 Ford Focus. Derek Cope will win Daytona 500.
Yep, that's right. Derek Cope, 500 ticket.
30th year anniversary of him winning the Daytona 500 or winning his last race.
You know what's funny? Derek Cope, he has not won a Cup Series race since 1990. And then on top of that, he hasn't even ran the 500 since 2004, and his last plate race was 2006.
What would the call for that be? What would it'd be 30 years of trying, 30 years of part-timing. Derek Cope has won the Daytona 500. Again.
Oh my God, it's coming down to 4. It's Kirk Shelverdine. It's the Daytona 500.
His whole deal is weird because he's guaranteed in the 500, but a guy who ran full-time last year, Ryan Preece, is not guaranteed to be into the 500.
Yeah, that's something that's changed a lot probably since either you guys watched consistently, is the way entries are established. There's charters now, so there's 36 teams that are guaranteed a spot into every race, and
it doesn't matter how slow they are.
They were experimenting with that when I started phasing out.
So I have a question. Do you know how when in the NFL for you, or in baseball, when you break a record, they take the ball out of play? Do you think that Derek Cope has the piece of track debris that took out Dale Earnhardt?
If I'm not mistaken, at least with the flat tire and the pieces of that's actually still at RCR.
Really?
Dale Earnhardt,
it's in the Hall of Fame, right?
Dale Earnhardt went back out there after the race and they got the tire and they got some of the debris and hung it up in the shop at RCR until they won the 500.
Wow, it's just a reminder, never again. Now,
I think I read something that
said
hold on.
I want to say one thing. It looks like we skipped the super chat here from GN for 5. Tree, how do Yinzers react to Groundhog Day, given the ceremony isn't too far away from Pittsburgh?
Oh, yeah.
Looks like 6 more weeks of winter. I mean, I feel like Pittsburghers don't really have an issue with it. It's about an hour, 2 hours away from Pittsburgh. So that's more like central PA.
Has everyone gotten snow?
Yeah, we got snow here. Not a lot of snow.
I got
probably
snow.
about 5 inches, but
5.
It's annoying. Like it's not. We didn't get as much as say like Philly, New York, Boston. They got
Chicago.
hammered. We were
We
on
got-
like the
we got
fringes
16.
of that storm.
I gotta ask, who's a bigger fluke though, Derek Cope or Trevor Bain?
Derek Cope.
Derek
Derek
Cope.
Cope.
No, Trevor
Derek
Bain. Trevor Bain. Derek
I
Cope
mean,
won another race.
What about
Trevor
Bobby
Bain
Hill and
showed a lot
Jr.?
of potential in other
Yeah,
speed.
Trevor Bain at least had a pretty good, Xfinity career, I would say. Derek Cope was like after his one win.
Derek
I don't
Cope
know.
went and won at Dover later that year.
Yeah, but that
true.
was it. After that, like after 1990,
Two wins versus one to me. Like that's the.
But they both had the
the-
same total then, right?
Wait, what?
How did Bain win the 500? Like, what did he do that just?
Ford. I don't know. Ford was just really
So-
fast that year.
Also,
at that
super
time-
speedway. It's easier for guys to maneuver around.
That
Well,
was a 2-car tandem deal too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He basically got pushed the entire time. Well, no,
Yeah.
because at first it was supposed to be David Reagan, and then he
Yeah.
screwed up on the
Yeah.
restart and switched lanes too early, and it basically just handed the lead to Trevor Bain.
Oh, and he just walked in and was like, I guess I'm here.
I
All right.
won. I'm the
All right.
500
Going to
champ.
victory lane.
I'd say if you talk about their Daytona 500 victories, Copes is definitely more of a fluke because he only lost it because something happened to Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
Bain at least did the right moves on the tracks and he earned it.
And plus, that team I think shut down like less than 2 years
Yeah.
later after that.
They were like the fourth
But
India.
then again,
Yeah.
to be fair, before they partnered up with Penske and got Blaney, the Wood brothers nearly shut down too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they were down to a part-time basis for several years there.
So Trevor Bain at least saved the Wood brothers in a sense.
He did. He saved NASCAR's oldest
you.
running team.
Saved the NASCAR.
and
Oh,
then
yeah.
now they got all
Fun
that
news.
hard money.
EA got a deal with the collegiate license company, means 100 plus schools in the game. My guess is all FBS schools are a lock when it launches in 2023.
Okay.
That would make sense.
So
I
then,
just wanna-
UCF can win their national championship for real this time, right?
Well, if they have an historical mode and they just have the random players that are set up, maybe if it's a situation like, okay, we had the rights to these players when they were in college, that means we're able to use their likeness in the games. I don't know. Would they use it like that, or
Well,
is it a
I
little
don't,
different?
I don't know because like I'm a Tennessee graduate, so I know more about Tennessee. So they can still sell jerseys with Kamara's name on it, actually. So they could do something like there's an Alvin Kamara for Tennessee or something like that.
Didn't
Or
you say the
Kamara,
same
like-
building?
Peyton Manning, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, they have his rights too, I think.
I just want to know: can I play as Notre Dame and then ultimately just get ass blasted by like Alabama? Like that's what I want to know.
No, you should
what's
be
their
Alabama
overall
and then
gonna
play
be?
Notre Dame.
God,
this
Notre
is-
Dame's been so bad in these
Overrated, dude.
They've
Well,
been
overrated.
terrible.
they'll talk
Well, my
hot
thing-
shit. They'll have like one random win and then just
So,
dead.
so, like as a Notre Dame fan, I've been saying for years I want to be put in a tougher like conference. I think it would be better for the school overall, like because they would suck at first, but just from the natural progression of having tougher competition, they would have to get better.
They're never
Yeah.
going to do it because of the NBC contract.
That's
Yeah.
right.
What am I
Damn.
hearing?
Somebody's
Damn.
going live now.
Dude, everyone's always speeding off
I got-
beside my apartment all the
Hey,
time.
that actually works because it's like a segue.
Yeah, they're like, you're talking about college football. Hold on a moment. What's
Yeah,
going
there's
on
Like,
here?
get back
There's
on
this guy
track.
back here. Yeah, there's this
Oh
one
yeah,
back
he's got a
there.
whole car in the background.
Dude, that thing's
Ooh.
buried under
Classic.
stuff.
Oh, it's dormant for the winter.
Just hibernating. Ah,
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
like your bed or something. Like you worked it into like some place you sleep.
So
It's
I don't-
not mine. It's not mine.
So you guys are, I think you're into diecast, right?
Oh yeah.
Big time. I need to start building some NASCAR cars because I like building all types of different stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
me and you have talked about our modeling and stuff like that. You can't really find as many model NASCAR cars anymore. Like back in the 90s, they were very popular. You don't
Yeah.
see as many of them anymore.
yeah, you
Mhm.
can get those old molds like from the
Mm-hmm.
90s, and like I'm probably gonna get the Harry Gant, the skull.
Oh yeah.
Skull Bandit.
Classic.
Well,
Nice.
you could get one of those and just do a custom. Or if you really want to get good with it, you can take any diecast you want, strip all the paint off of it, and then repaint it and make whatever diecast you want.
5 Points is an amazing artist, so he could really do good on that.
My thing is nobody made mouth cancer cooler than Harry Gant.
And Mary.
Like, all right, man, put this stuff in your mouth, and maybe it'll fall off. But look at me run around this track. How cool is that?
Someone needs to put that on Twitter out of context.
There's a lot of out of context yesterday.
That was a lot of out of context. Dude, you have Adam Rank say a few things on there? Jesus
Adam was a savage too. Did you see
he was just like taking no prisoners. That's like Jeff Masson.
He was just high. He was taking souls, man. Fitzy too. Fitzy went right at you. Black Flags Matter.
Oh yeah, he called me Patrick Mahomes' little brother. The one on y'all like, damn, bro. I just took it though. It's funny, but like,
hey, doppelgangers make apparently big money on TikTok. So never have a future outside racing.
Hey, I could just sell out on TikTok, basically.
Says if Cope wins, then Austin Dillon is going to have to blow a tire while leading in fire, entering turn 3 on the final lap. Oh, you got the Rona again, Tree?
No, Rona doesn't involve sneezing, unfortunately.
No. Oh, I love these next two. Hold on. Carlos Ruiz, no FPV. You're wrong. It's NASCAR champion. We're gonna lose. I should have snuck in. So I did invite We're Gonna Lose to the stream yesterday, but
he didn't show up.
Yeah, he's so weird because he'll disappear from the internet for months, right?
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah, and then he'll come back and he's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" I'm just
I'm like, "Where you been?"
When I found out that he was a fan of my channel, like I fanboyed him because like I have loved his content forever, and I actually introduced his stuff to my son, and my son thinks that he's so damn hilarious.
Yeah,
really.
We were binging him when we were at our first Bristol trip.
Oh yeah, it was so funny. He's about to hit 100,000 subs soon too. So
and he doesn't upload. Like he does all the opposite of everything that you should do on YouTube. Like you shouldn't take long breaks. You shouldn't, upload a lot.
Well, in his defense, he's been on YouTube for like 7 years now. So like, I remember watching his trolling videos in like 2011. That's how long he's been on.
It's probably like a slow.
You realize 2011 was a decade ago, right?
Yeah, he's been on for years, man.
Yeah,
years.
Yeah. So this one I love. GN for the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Yes. Name an active hockey player. Oh my!
Does Crosby still play?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Is Shaw still on the Blackhawks?
Who was that?
Shaw. I think it was
Andrew Shaw. Yeah.
Andrew Shaw,
I watched him at because I live in and around Rockford. I watched him play for the Ice Hogs before he was with the Blackhawks.
Marc-Andre Fleury, of course, a local
there you go.
hero out here. He's a local hero. He's our goalie. So
Danny B, you're on the clock, buddy.
Ryan Johansson.
Okay, there you go. Look at Predator, ex-Predator, or is he still on the Preds?
He's coming, Brett. He's coming, Brett. He's got a big contract.
I don't watch hockey much, but I do got to root on the hometown team. So.
Oh yeah, of course.
Good guy. Multicultural. It's always fun when I think I asked Flemlo, who an active hockey player, and he was like Ovechek or something.
Now Darian did that with me a while back with NBA players.
Oh
the last time I watched the NBA was when like Derrick Rose was the MVP. Like, and then I just sort of lost.
That was after 10 years ago.
Yeah. That was 2011. If you were asked me to name an active MLS player, I'd have to be Velez. Is that?
I don't know.
Man, I'd have a better chance at naming a WNBA player.
You know what? Nashville has an MLS team, but I can't name anyone on that.
Brittany Griner.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Brianna Stewart. Yeah.
Brianna Stewart.
That's Sabrina Ionescu.
No, the Della Donna. She's the best free throw shooter in the history.
Elena Della Don.
Yes, Della Donna.
Oh yeah, the girl that nearly got fucked by the WNBA due to injuries or something. Right?
Yeah, they tried to screw her out of her contract or something like that.
Oh yeah.
If she opted out, she wasn't going to make her money, even though she had I think a big injury issue, or she was like immunocompromised. It was one of those situations.
Something. Now, if to name an NWHL player, okay, the National Women's Hockey player, all I got is Hillary.
Oh, that's what that is. I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm like,
the only ones I know are probably long retired: Cammie Granato and Haley Wickenheiser. So like I don't know if they're still active.
Hillary Knight, come on, she broke the speed record, and
no, that's Kendall Coyne's shot.
Oh, you're right.
Kendall Coyne
Schofield,
women's
the
NBC
I don't know.
I think that was her.
I remember there's a goaltender for Ohio State that was a smoke show. Anyways, Jared Warren, impressions of a Destruction Derby vid game known as Wreckfest.
Awesome. Awesome game.
It's so awesome.
I got into that over the summer.
You don't even have to be on a certain console or PC for it to be fun. It's just fun.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm. Put that new wheel to good use as well.
All right, so there's one super chat hanging out here, but let's save that for a little bit.
Gotcha.
Well, let's just read it. Blue Cup. This podcast is getting rated by NASCAR slowly.
What can you do?
Clearly, you guys probably want to talk about the Daytona 500. That's coming.
Oh yeah, that's our Super Bowl. Super Bowl stock.
Yeah. So, however you want to set this up and discuss it and get into it now that we've got through these super chats.
First of all, we got half of our crew is going. How excited are you guys for that?
Oh, that is going to be awesome. I can't wait. We have the house rented out. It's going to be a fun week.
So I'll put it like this. I've had a countdown going now since my birthday, and my birthday is November 1st. So I'm pretty excited.
He always has a countdown going every single time. I remember the first ever Bristol trip. You had one going for like 3 months. It's cool.
No, I had it going for about a year, but it's like
a year.
It's just it's a way to look forward to something, you know. Like I, especially with COVID going on, it's like I just want something fun to look forward to, you know, other than going to class and making videos and doing all the other normal stuff.
Right.
So
nobody has a calendar where they just mark the days till their death. They're just like, that's gonna be the day, right? I'm just gonna.
It's like, one more day until I die. Fuck
yes. I got a good 6 or 7 decades.
It's a Saturday. Wow.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I could say I have a couple more decades left, but I mean, you know, life, how fucked that up is. I can live until I'm 120 because of tech. I don't know.
I'll look. I'm like, I'm dying on a Monday. Damn it.
I will say this. I'm very jealous of the people because I've been wanting since last year when Darian put the idea in our heads that we would go, that y'all could get us into a NASCAR race. And I really like the concept of going places and then being treated very well and not. And
you just got spoiled by Dallas.
Going for free. But, now this I would love to go to and now we get a $50 super chat, which I purchase iRacing from me. Hold on, let's put this up here because that's what you get when you $50 super chat the show. Thomas Groves 13 for $50. Y'all are the best. Danny B looks like he's having a blast.
I am having a blast. I'm here with my 3 best friends and my 2 new best friends.
There you go. Is that an inside joke about your expression, or is that?
I have no clue. I just got off work, so if I look bad, then
see, Danny B always looks the same to me though. So it's like I don't know. He's
always got that warm grin on his face.
Yeah, whether he's like sad or happy, he just looks the same to me.
He's the Paul Menard of YouTubers.
Hey, there you go.
Another brilliant segue. We're real professionals here.
Yeah, he's my third favorite driver.
Yeah. Who's your second favorite?
Oh, I love this though. Okay, so I said I would stop reading super chats, but they just keep coming in, man.
You have no choice.
This is great though. What is your Mets cast? Must be a fellow suffering Met fan. What is your favorite 500 moment? Second favorite Super Bowl. Also, it's Kramer and I changed my name to my podcast. Selfless promotion. All right, Kramer. We see you.
Favorite Daytona 500 moment.
Oh, favorite
Dale Jr. winning in 2014.
Yeah, I'd have to say that. Yeah, I'd have to say that.
If I have to be objective about what my favorite 500 is, just racing wise, it'd be the 05 500. I mean, just Gordon Jr., Kurt Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart. It's like it was my first. It's the who's who of that time, and it was my first race. It was like ever that I'd watched flag to flag, so it was just a perfect introduction.
Yeah, this selfish reasons for me too would be 2012. That was the marathon 500, but it was my favorite driver, Matt Kenseth, getting his second win. But that's the race that started Sunday afternoon, or they tried to start Sunday afternoon, got rained out to Monday. They started it late Monday night. Montoya hit the jet dryer, wasn't his fault.
That was perfect.
Track on fire. 2 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, Matt Kenseth holds off Greg Whipple and Dale Earnhardt Jr. to win the Daytona 500. It was crazy. That was a wild day, but I remember that one fondly.
I love that one too, like for obvious reasons. But the funny part about that is I had broken my leg, ankle, and foot.
Hilarious.
There's a reason here. There's a story here. I was in pain, baby. Laugh at it. But I had gotten hurt really bad, and so I had to go over. I think I was staying over at my great grandmother's house, just because I couldn't get around the house with no one there. And I get a call from my uncle, and he's like in San Francisco. He's watching the race, and he's like, "Hey, you watching the race right now?" I'm like, "I'm just going upstairs. I'm watching in a second." He goes, "Montoya hit the jet dryer," and I'm like, "No, no way." And he goes, "No, I'm serious."
And that's all anyone remembers him for. Unfortunately,
they don't remember any of his road course wins. They just remember that.
One wins and
nothing.
They don't remember him bitching or schooling people about the wing on the back of the car. I remember that. I do
remember him fighting Harvick. I remember that.
Yeah. Getting in Harvick's face. That was pretty common back then, though. People getting in Harvick's face or him getting in their faces and then nothing happening.
Hey, I got in Harvick's face last year. It was with the Buddha belly.
Yeah. I remember seeing that.
He doesn't come off as very intimidating to me. Just grouchy. One of those grouchy old
curmudgeon.
But in a good way. In a good way, though.
That kind of describes Tree. He's not intimidating, but he's very grouchy. Look at him right now.
I'm just a bitter, jaded man.
You are bitter and jaded. My favorite 500, actually, I kind of liked last year's race. I know it wasn't epic at all, like in terms of probably the history, but I watched that race from beginning to end. I was really excited. Well, then you had that push at the end, the big crash. Thank God Ryan Newman was safe. But there was a lot of attention on there, and to me, it's like it was one of the last normal. It's going to be the last normal Daytona for a long time.
Yeah,
capacity. And
one of the last major sporting events, at least in America, because there's over 100,000 people there. I don't know of any other sporting events between mid-February and March that reached similar.
Super Bowl, probably the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it would have been before. It would have been like beginning of
COVID.
Oddly enough, I'm big into bass fishing. The biggest tournament of the year, the Bassmaster Classic, happened the weekend before everything shut down, so they got that in just in time.
Yeah,
I remember there was a show called Major League Fishing. Isn't there a show called Major?
Yeah, it's evolved from that. Major League Fishing is now a bigger organization who bought the FLW, the Forest Wood Fishing Cup organization. They were one of the biggest. They were on the same level as Bassmaster. They bought them, and they've absorbed all that. Now they're like this big mega empire of fishing tournaments.
Oh, that's gotta suck if you're in Major League Fishing and your coach calls you in. He's like, "Man, you're not casting like you used to. We're gonna have to send you down to the minors, buddy. You're gonna have to tool around on the
wrist. You gotta flick the wrist a little bit.
Right.
I'm just thinking it's like MLF.
You need a fishing coach. Retweak your mechanics.
Right. Yeah, we have to go to the videotape here. Look, this is when you're casting. You're not letting go at the right point here. I want you to go work on this. Do the hit your sister in the
your
face.
launch angle sucks.
Fishing pole.
You don't have enough rotation in your fishing.
In all reality, that sport is actually a lot similar to racing.
Actually, I've watched a fishing broadcast. I think I was watching reruns during COVID, and it's actually really fun because, like, especially when it's like an international tournament, there's like some like little Japanese guy that's got his like got a method to it, and it's like, oh, I'll catch up.
No, but their reactions though are great.
And those guys are skilled. Like there's definitely it's not like it's like poker in the way that. I don't think there's less luck involved in it. It's like these guys know what they're doing, man. Like they'll go out in there and catch some big ass fish. And
it's crazy how much money is in it too, because they have these crazy contracts of boat companies and sponsors like crazy. Like these guys are getting paid a bunch of money even if they don't win a tournament.
I see you got some Tommianism in the chat.
I have seen that. I've seen it. He was mentioning something about racing cars go vroom vroom.
Racing cars go. Wait, are we going to bring Tom? Is he officially in here? No, he's not in here yet.
He's not in there, but he was in the chat.
Yeah, there he is. What incarnation is racing? Should I send him an invite?
I don't care. Sure. Leave it up to you.
All right, let me send Tommy an invite.
I can make fun of his Packers some more.
I can live vicariously through Darian.
Find out how much knowledge of NASCAR the Tommyist has.
It sounds like
I
quite a bit. He might blow us all away.
I can't really talk much trash being a Vikings fan and all. I just am in eternal
poor
suffering.
bastard.
Eternal suffering.
You poor bastard.
Dude, tell me about it. Cubs,
Well, I mean,
Vikings,
you'll probably
Dale
trade
Jr.
Kirk Cousins, and you'll still have.
Eric's
problems.
a Texans fan though, so that sucks.
I'm just gonna keep it quiet. I'm not.
I gotta let him know you're a Texans.
I'm a Titans fan. We are cursed to have the greatest running backs and never can do anything with them.
Adrian Peterson.
Texans have arguably the greatest quarterback, and they have done absolutely nothing.
Well, at least your last name is not Easterby, Eric.
Hey, that's close. It's pretty close. I got to watch my back when I'm walking around the street. You know, it's
Well, you're not bald and you're not openly touting religion, so you might be okay.
At this point, the Texans will probably only have David Carr's number retired. That's it. They're not going to
Andre Johnson. Andre
Johnson. Yes.
Andre Johnson
White.
and JJ Watt.
Andre
And
Johnson
maybe
won't
Aaron
like
Foster.
return the city's calls, so that's kind of a rough situation.
I sent a message to Tom, and I said they want to quiz you on your NASCAR knowledge, and he said I don't know shit. And I was, that is the point. Bake the snake, okay?
Well, you're not here to get embarrassed. He has a reputation to uphold.
Tom Grassi has a reputation.
Yeah.
Well, he has more of a reputation than me. Maybe you. I don't know.
We don't have reputations. Okay.
That's what I said. He's got more of a reputation than us.
Bake the
I
snake.
fucking shit post on the internet. You talk about fucking damn sons and dad jokes.
Well, we talk
What
about
the fuck
racing.
do we
So
talk
what does that
about?
make us? Like, what does that make
Well,
us? We're at the bottom of the
step
totem pole.
above us. So you know what? You can lord over us. That's why he hijacked our stream tonight.
Hey, cool. I'm
Bake
down.
the Snake says, okay, if we're talking PC racing, then iRacing for the win. Yeah, that's the platform that I think I'm gonna get on. Problem is I bought the PC for my kids, and I'd have to kick them off to go.
That ain't no problem.
on it.
Yeah, that's
But
You pay for it. It's your PC.
I know it's
Yeah.
my PC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carlos Ruiz says, being from KC, what's your guys' opinion on Kansas Speedway? Should I attend a race?
Yes.
Up, down. Sorry for missing last week's show. Go Chiefs.
Kansas races have been getting more and more interesting the last few times.
I haven't been to the facility, but I've heard it's absolutely fantastic. You've been though, right, Jared? So I'll let you
Jared's
talk
been
about
there.
it.
I've been in the stands this past year, and then I was in the infield in 2019, and it is so much better than most tracks. Like honestly, because they did renovations to it back in I think 2012. I want to say it was like 20. Yeah, it was 2012, I think, or 2011 into 2012, one of the two, and it's really well set up inside the track. Outside, it's super easy to get in and out of there, which, you know, anyone who's went to plenty of NASCAR races can know that that's not always the case. I'm looking at Martinsville.
Richmond is like that. Richmond is terrible. It takes 2 hours to leave.
So Martinsville has like the parking lots. It's just grass. So if it rains, you're stuck in the mud, and then you have like you have this just a normal fence, but there's only an opening big enough for like one car to get in and out. So it's, you know, you're trying to get 70,000 people out one at a time. It's awful. But no, it's a great track. I'd say go. I know that I'm gonna at least be going to the fall race.
Isn't Kansas the same as Chicagoland? Like the same shape?
Kansas still exists. So
yeah.
What makes the Chicagoland unique is that the backstretch is actually curving the whole time. It's not really straight. It's curving.
So I went to Chicagoland every year from 07 to 19. So and I can say just the way it's set up, Kansas is like leaps and bounds better.
One thing I learned, so Slap Shoes and I did a video on abandoned NASCAR abandoned NASCAR tracks, or what the fate of these NASCAR tracks. I learned that it's very easy to just disassemble a NASCAR track. Like they'll take the grandstands and move them to like somewhere else. Like when a track dies, it really doesn't exactly die. Yes, the gravel's still in the ground, but the stands can be, and the fencing, it's just raided and brought somewhere else.
It's like an organ donor.
Yeah, go to Nazareth. Nazareth is like the definition of a discombobulated racetrack.
Yep. Atlanta Butt Pounder 420. Wow, that's
Butt Pounder 420.
That's my alternate name right there. Butt Pounder 420 69. My dad said he would stop beating me if NASCAR got rid of the playoff. He's NASCAR. help me and my bones out and get rid of this terrible.
Hey, run away! You might as well run away. Now.
Honestly, they should get rid of that system, but they won't.
Yeah.
Y'all need to isolate that and put it on in one of your videos. My dad said he would stop beating me. That's
This
right.
is abuse getting butt pounded. Jeez.
Actually, what's going to happen is your kid's going to edit that out and put it on his TikTok account.
Will it be as bad as calling someone just black on a live?
Black. Excuse me, black.
I don't know. Let's see. Inadvertent racism versus inadvertent spousal abuse. I don't know. Which is worse right now? Well, pull it up to a poll.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Maybe
post that in the chat.
Maybe
If Scooter were here,
I
he'd be
didn't
like,
call you
chat.
that word this time.
If Scooter were here, he'd be like, chat. What do you think?
what's
Parental abuse or impromptu racism? What do you guys?
What's worse, racism or butt pounding?
No.
Well, it depends on who. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I would say racism.
Well, it depends. Like, is it like
What you
like a
do
hot
in your own
25-year-old
time is,
girl?
yes.
Like, is it the courtside Karen that you're butt pounding?
Oh,
Or is
don't
it-
even get me started on her. I'm gonna roast her.
Media,
I'm going to roast her, bro.
that was
for
a fabricated
Dude,
fiasco.
girl looks like an Instagram thought from up to
Dude, have you
down.
seen her husband, bro? Her husband's like her dad. What do you?
You know who he looks like? He looks like the head chef from Amy's Baking Company, the husband.
He
That's
looks
pretty
like
much what he looks like.
he looks like every retired douchebag with a Ferrari.
Yeah,
Well,
some
that's
thirsty
why he
married
can afford a trophy wife like
Yeah, he needs a trophy wife. He needs
Instagram
the
thought
trophy
Nicole
wife.
Richie.
He needs the trophy wife to feel his ego, and that's what happened last night. Basically,
Speaking of trophy wives, did I ever tell you that my wife worked at Hooters?
I saw that yesterday. Tell me the story. Tell me the story.
Yeah, let's hear the story.
Yeah, let's hear the story.
What? How we started talking about that, or how my wife used to work at Hooters?
Did you meet her there or what?
Yeah.
Oh, did I meet her there? No. So I had met her. She was a cheerleader. Okay, so this is all the stats, right?
Yeah.
She was a cheerleader at VCU. And then I would go to the games as a student, get fucking shit wasted, and be like, "Damn it, that cheerleader is fine." And then one night I was there's more layers to this onion. So I was a bouncer at a nightclub, which is hard to believe because I'm like 5'11", 170.
Nah, I seen old pictures. He was putting in work back in the day, y'all.
Yeah, well,
you were fit back then, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not fit now. Okay, fine.
Well, I mean, in your old pictures, you were. You probably are now, but
So
I mean,
I did MMA and jiu-jitsu, and that the reason why I got into that was because I was a bouncer and I needed to kick some ass. And so I was known as Angry Adam. That was my nickname. I didn't take shit from nobody because the small guy is the only guy that you don't want to mess with, right? In the bar. The big dudes, they're just gonna push you around. The small guy's gonna fuck you up.
The small guy has the heart. They got all the
Did you have Napoleon syndrome?
Maybe when you're 5'11" and all your bouncer friends are 6'2", 6'4", and you're like bringing them in for the muscle, like you definitely are like, these guys got my back, thank God, because I don't want to do this alone. But my perception was that I was a big tough guy. So the cheerleader rolls up one night with a fake ID, but I knew she was 21. No, it gets even better because I knew she was 21, but she had the ID of one of my coworkers, right? I was like, this is Leanna's ID. What the fuck are you doing with? So I was like, look, I'm not gonna let you in. Fuck it, I was basically being a dick because I was attracted to her and I wanted to talk to her. And then so Mike, this guy's name was Mike Lowry. He comes up and he's like, Adam, quit fucking messing with Jen. Like, just let her in. I was like, all right, fine. A week later, she comes in and she like puts her real ID in like my face. And she's like, here you go, dickhead. Like, here's my ID or whatever. So then from there, we started a banter. Every time she'd come in, I'd be like, did you bring your ID? A month later, this is how clueless I am. A month later, I ask her out on a date. She's like, it's taking you a month now. And I was like, I said, look, do you have a boyfriend? She goes, do you think I would be in here every weekend for the past month if I had a boyfriend? I was like, I didn't put that together. So then, we dated on and off for about a year and a half. And then she started working at Hooters and she made Hooters waitresses make very good money.
I would imagine.
And then that's when we got back together again, and then the rest is kind of history. But for me in college, we knew all the Hooters girls anyways, like because they all went to college with us, so we were like VIPs in there, and all the old thirsty dudes that tried to hit on them and buy them drinks were like, well, they're going home.
Oh yeah, all the simps. There must be, there was a lot of
the
simps back in the day.
that paid her.
You called them
rent,
simps back in the
basically.
day? What'd you call them?
We didn't. I don't know what we called them. We
Trusty
didn't have
old
a
dudes.
word for that. Just people that spend
That's-
money. For
Yeah,
no
but
reason.
there wasn't really a term for it even when I was like 10 years ago. There wasn't really a
Pathetic,
term for
I
it.
think, was what we
Pathetic.
called it.
No,
Oh,
simps.
pathetic works too.
Old
Whipped
and decrepit.
whipped was the word.
Oh
Yeah.
But there was this one dude though. He was a great guy, and he would spend he would tip whatever his Hooter waitress was that night, like 150, 200, not expecting anything from them, just generously giving them $150 to $200. But the girls would fight over him when it was time for him to do that. So they'd be like, "I need Randy to sit in my section tonight," and so she worked. She worked in Hooters, man, because she's always had her looks. Now she's a photographer, so now she has her brains. Lucky me. Where did we stop on? Oh, butt pounder. Atlanta Olympians. Don't know how, but I'm a Discord server where we worship Matty D 21. I'm not even a fan of Matty D. I'm a Kyle Busch fan.
And Matty D is always a fan favorite for everybody.
How do you say Matty Benedetto?
Benedetto.
We're gonna lose. Always pronounces his name Matt Diamond DiBurrito like all the time. That's what he does. But no, it's Di Benedetto.
Di Benedetto.
Yeah.
He's in an important year because he already knows he's not going to return to the team he's with after this season. So he's basically going into it day one looking for another contract with a completely different organization.
Yeah.
So that's a weird story.
Maybe like Irvin says, he could sponsor Chipotle, Di Burrito.
They literally, they literally re-signed him with the knowledge. It's like, yeah, you got it for this year, but you're completely out in 2 years because they already have your replacement lined up and ready.
You're gone.
Like, there's no chance. And Penske ain't giving you a car either, so get over it.
But to be fair, his eventual replacement, Austin Cindric, does look very promising, though.
He's getting replaced by the defending Xfinity Series champion in 2022. So that's another story to watch in the lower series is how Austin Cindric develops.
I would like to see 2311 Racing have such a good year that they could justify having another car because the relationship that I think Hamlin and the Benedetto have built, especially since they're
through Hamlin beating him consistently,
pretty much would make it nice if he ended up there.
Yeah,
I have a question. So when there's those cars racing around and they have no sponsorship, all they have is the number on them, and to me it's so sad because it's like, why are you racing? Do they ever graduate up and get a sponsor? Has that ever happened, or are they just out there spending some rich?
Those kind of deals are weird because they will sell cheap sponsorship knowing they're not going to be competing or anything like that, and so it basically just gets them at cost, and then they're actually pocketing a lot more money than you think that they are.
Really?
We talked about like Matt DiBenedetto drove for some start and park teams. They often had logos on the car, but they didn't have much funding and weren't competitive. And now he's in a competitive car, at least for this year.
That's funny. Start and part is what that's called.
Yeah, start and parking. Yeah,
they don't really exist
in like the mid
Does that
2000s.
today.
Basically, those teams will only put their good money into the super speedway program, and they'll just do whatever at all the other tracks.
Yeah,
you don't really see it as much in the Cup
laps.
Series anymore. You used to see it all the time where a team would like put all their resources into just making the show and qualifying. They'd run one pretty decent lap, qualify 39th, and then they'd pack it in after 8 laps on Sunday. That doesn't really happen in Cup anymore.
Oh yeah, that used to be a big thing. That's why they dropped from 43 to 40 for that
So
reason.
it's profitable to do that. Like,
Yeah.
make money.
Okay, you just need to look at Rick Ware. That's all.
Air racing, bro.
So we had a driver on last year from the Xfinity Series. I think it was Tommy Joe Martins is the one who told us this is that they would have one good car set up that would race, the full schedule, and then they just bring a second or third team and just have them start and park and use like all that money extra that was added towards their primary team, and it's helped some teams build up. I think was it Sieg's team? You guys have to remind me.
Ryan Sieg's team did use
Yeah.
to start and park back in the day, a long time ago.
And now they're contending for wins.
Yeah.
And it does work, but it's like everything has to go right.
And I think
And-
Jake Baskinger did a video where those teams that actually were winning, like the times that those teams won a race, the starting parks.
Like
Yeah.
Spire in 2019, they weren't quite a starting park, but they had no intention of.
They
being
had no
competitive.
purpose of even
And
being up
I
front.
They
think they're
lucked into
just
a rain
now-
shortened win at Daytona. They called the race
Yeah.
early, and they just stayed out when everybody else thought the race would go back green and lucked
Mhm.
into a win.
So hopefully it's not counterproductive to win a race like buying GameStop stock, right? Like it doesn't fuck up their scheme if they accidentally win a race.
The absolute best case example of a team going from nothing to something was Furniture Row Racing. Ultimately, they ended up having to shut down because of the moves that they had to make to get to that point. But they did go from literally missing races they didn't qualify for them to winning championship at Martin Truex Jr.
So
All
it
over
is
the span of
possible.
like 10 years too. It was about a 10-year gap that all that happened from
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
first started to when they and then they were out of the sport a year and a half later.
Yeah, they were done.
That's a whole other story that's unrelated.
It's like, I'm going to invest all I can, even if it kills us.
Bob
Yeah,
Levine.
yeah.
Bob Levine until last year. Same deal. Like,
Unfortunately, also met a.
Oh,
sad
his
fate.
tweets were so sad to watch.
Dude, if you want to watch a salty former NASCAR owner, just look up Bob Levine, guys.
Oh, he is so salty, bro.
I don't blame him, but
Yeah, I don't
it's
blame
still
him.
entertaining.
Find them and interview them.
We have.
Oh, you
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
He's very nice when you talk to him, but yeah, he's
Yeah,
certainly.
he's a nice guy. He's just done with NASCAR.
Yeah,
It
he's
was
like,
funny.
hey,
It was funny because like every time I'd be in the garage and I'd see him, like we'd go back and forth. He's a Cowboys fan and I'm a Vikings fan, so both our teams aren't that good, and so we just trash talk each other about
How
know,
bad you are.
basically how bad we are. Yeah,
Urban Alvarado says, for the NASCAR Weekly Podcast crew, what are some must-have essentials for first-time fans to pack for race weekend?
water,
Sunscreen.
water.
Sunscreen.
I thought
Ear
I was
protection.
prepared for my first time in Daytona, but no raincoat or Sharpie for auto.
Yes, have a raincoat. There's
Have a
always a
Sharpie.
chance it can rain.
Let me
Always
tell
have
you,
a Sharpie as well. Drivers are usually pretty good about bringing Sharpies to things, but you never know when you might catch someone offhand.
people never think about this, but if you're going to the track, more than likely you're gonna be there for like 8 to 12 hours that day. You know, at the minimum, maybe 6. Bring a portable charger for your phone.
and
Like,
also
your phone battery will go out because there is no reception at the track, and just it drains quick there.
And also, if it's like really hot, like out here in Vegas on race weekends, don't be an idiot and have like 2 or 3 beers and no water. Like, stay hydrated.
I know it's stereotypical to drink beer a lot at NASCAR races, but honestly, it's one of the stupidest things you can do.
Yeah.
Well,
just drink
most
water.
of them are just going to drink really light stuff
Well-
like Bud Light, Coors Light, or Michelob.
Oh,
If that.
So I worked at
Yeah,
the
we got
track.
Keystone in the sport now.
I worked at the track as a drink distributor. Man, we killed it with just water. I mean, we sell beer, don't get me wrong, but just bottled water,
Yep.
had condensation on it. Everyone be like, water. They'd be out in the desert, man.
I need it.
Bristol last summer, even in a pandemic where they only had about a fifth of their normal crowd, they ran out of water before the main race even started. Like the concessions were out of water. It was rough. It was unfortunate, but yeah, water
There's
is
still-
popular.
There still officially were 25,000 there, but
That's a pretty big.
It,
Oh, look at
it
that.
was
More.
more than that, actually.
We're flipping.
was
We got
more.
a $50 super chat and we haven't fucking read it.
My camera's still broken. What is
I
going
know.
on?
Well, that's
What
what
are we
happens
doing?
when you can say that Hiei is a Make-A-Wish campaign. Come
Yeah,
on.
I know. I just.
You are an
where's the
asshole.
chat? I know. I was a dickhead to everyone yesterday.
You
and-
were. You always are,
for it.
man. How is this a new revelation?
How was he a dickhead yesterday?
He was literally roasting nearly every single guest we had.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
good. It's a good thing.
Did I call someone a virgin? Yeah, I called JD I called JD from J&D Productions a virgin. I said EA was a Make-A-Wish kid. I went at Adam Rank pretty much the whole time. I think I insulted both Barry and Kwani just by saying I can't take your argument anymore.
I was roasting 5 points
honest-
yesterday for
That
joining Snapchat.
interview did go pretty long though. So
Yeah, it did. I watched the replay today. They talked about Tom Brady for 20 minutes. I was like, what the hell?
Dude, that was hilarious.
They just went off.
Well, it's just a circular argument because he was like the one point I was texting Darian during that.
Yeah,
Like,
he
I'm sorry, I'm
was.
gonna go off a little bit. Like, he's like, you can't really judge Brady because of the people around him. But Mahomes is better than Brady. And I'm like, Mahomes is really good, but look at the team around him.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Argument.
Okay, let me read this 50 and then we'll get to this. Today is a great day for stonks and my kitties got fixed. Not as big on NASCAR as I was, but F1 still cool to me. Thoughts of future manufacturers in NASCAR and possibly a North American series like Formula E. Ooh.
It'll probably happen eventually. I don't see it
will.
happening in the next 5 to 10 years necessarily.
No.
But I feel like the same reason the Formula, and I don't know much about the Formula E series, but I feel like it had a lot of initial investment from manufacturers because it was seen as this very forward, exciting, like new, almost a just innovative thing. And I think that's one thing NASCAR, at least up until this year or next year, has always lagged behind. The cars are archaic, and manufacturers don't look at a NASCAR car as something new that they can really learn from. Like, you know,
Right. It's not sexy.
So,
But the new car is apparently ready, though. It's ready for next year.
Yeah. So one thing about, just looking at an E series, where is it at? I had it pulled up right here. Is that GM is actually going to cut full gasoline and diesel light duty cars and SUVs by 2035. That's what they published that plan earlier this week. So if there's going to be an E series in the United States, it's probably going to be NASCAR.
Yeah.
Wow. I hope that they don't have that system where if you tweet at the driver that they get boosts.
Oh, no, that's stupid.
Like that.
No. Someone's thinking
Oh.
about it. That's been tossed around the NASCAR halls, I'm sure, at some
What
point.
a-
Hopefully not
better not.
seriously.
What a horrible way to get engagement, right? Like, come on now.
Chase Elliott's falling behind. Tweet.
As far as new manufacturers go, I mean, obviously Dodge, but like that's not going to happen. And
Dude,
then
they're trying to make like an 850 horsepower minivan at this point.
yeah,
Like,
I'm like, I don't know.
They're not
Yeah,
coming
so like
back.
they're never coming back. But like my dream one would be Mercedes. I would love to see Lewis come in here and try out.
problem
get
is,
in there,
like,
Lewis.
a lot of people flip out. Look at how they flipped out over Toyota.
Yeah.
I think Toyota could sort of, for lack of a better phrase, they sort of broke that barrier a little bit. I do think the next one, like of Honda, which I think is maybe the most
Honda,
realistic.
Yeah,
Nissan,
Honda.
I can see
Yeah.
those two.
I think
Maybe
people will be a little more
Mazda, but they
lenient.
might be a little low.
I could see Hyundai honestly too.
Honda's not
Hyundai, if
bad.
they want to
Hyundai?
Korean.
Uh-huh.
Hey, what about
BMW.
Buick? Bring Buick back. We love Buick.
Yeah.
We'll have Shaq come to every race.
Actually, you know what? Let's bring back Oldsmobile. Fuck it.
Actually,
They still make
Buick,
Hudson.
Pontiac. Uh-huh.
Buick is owned by GM, so that wouldn't make any sense.
Oh,
I had a Buick for a while. It was a piece of shit. It was nice. It was luxurious, but with luxury cars in America, it's just more things to break.
they sell
Yeah.
80% of their cars in China. Actually, Buick does. So
Really?
Not shy.
yeah,
Really?
yeah, in
It's a
China.
nice car. It was.
China.
What's the,
Well,
the
if you look at
paper.
Chinese cars, most of them suck. So no wonder why they're all going to import
No
like American
competition.
or German cars.
Yeah, no competition, right?
What
Yeah.
happened with that was I had another Mercedes picked out. This is how much of a douche I am. I had another Mercedes picked out, and then we were at a Buick dealership that apparently had it, and then we sat in the Buick and was like, "Oh shit, everything's lovely on the like it has like LED, it has every feature that you could want, and none of them work."
No,
It has the heated seats and the cooling seats. The air conditioned seats broke within like 3 weeks. Of
oh
me.
my gosh.
Yeah.
The White Castle of cars.
Yeah,
Like,
it
that's
was an antifreeze leak, and it just sucked, man.
That's
Dahomey OHG, love the podcast. Also, I live in Hville too, Danny.
Oh,
Hey.
Right.
Nice.
Gadzuk says, among the new tracks on the Cup schedule, which are you most excited for? Also, glad Indy is finally going to the road course. The inability for these cars to pass made the oval course incredibly boring. Hope you're well. It's not really an oval. It's like a squared oval, right?
Yeah.
It's,
Rectangle.
but all right, let's answer the first question.
I'd say, I mean, even though Nashville is back on the speedway, I'd have to say Circuit of the
Yep.
Americas.
That's what I was going to
probably
say. Then
the
don't
most
they have that
exciting.
in?
Yeah,
Do they have Road America or is it just Circuit of the
Road
Americas?
America? Wait, they have Road America.
Yeah, they have Road America. That's on
It's
the
a
4th
different
of
track.
July.
Well, that's probably Xfinity Series, I thought.
No, it's Cup has it too for the 4th this year, and it's awesome because I only live like 2 hours away, so I'm just like I'm gonna be able to drive to the track and then sleep in my own bed at night. Like I've never been able to do that before.
That's awesome.
So I'm happy about that.
Well, I'll be able to do that for Nashville for the first time, so I'm happy about that. So
Yeah,
We talked about the Bristol Dirt Race earlier as well. That's the other big one. Like it's a lot of road courses. I think Circuit of the Americas in Austin's exciting because that's a Formula One track. It's new. It's a really nice facility. It's sexy. You know, it's
It's nice.
It's
Sexy. I want to hit that.
I want to hit that track.
Hell
They got
yeah,
that
I want to
huge
get with
tower
that.
You're gonna lick its
I wanna
fucking pavement
swipe
off,
right
aren't you?
on that.
I want to lick the like button.
I want to hit that chicane up. No,
Anyway.
All right, I gotta ask you guys a question.
What's up?
Friend of y'all show, and forgive me if this is too controversial, but Haley Deegan really slipped, and I don't know where you guys feel on
yeah,
that.
we can-
You guys, I mean,
we can
you're
talk
friends
about it.
with her.
Oh yeah, we talk about
had her on the show.
we talk about everything on our show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I know it's it's close and personal to a lot of people. I kind of I hate the word. I don't think it should be said, but how do y'all feel about that? Just knowing her as a person and being a little closer to it than the average person.
I think it still shows how young she is. She's still immature. She has a lot of maturing to do still, and people kind of forget that a little bit.
I think,
Yeah.
and I know we've talked about this before, the four of us, but she does need to kind of get out of the bubble she's in. I think she's very close with her dad and her family. They handle a lot of business together. He's probably taught her everything she knows about racing. And I think, that's great in a lot of ways. I think there are overall good people, and I think she's a good person. I think she made a mistake, but I do think NASCAR is forcing her to do some sensitivity training. And I actually think this might be good just because she's kind of being groomed to become the face of America's biggest motorsport here in the next few years. And so she can't be having these kinds of slip ups, 3, 4, 5 years down the line. I think it's good to nip this stuff in the bud. It just is the nature of the world. You gotta watch what you say. You have to be careful about it because, like you said, you say a word like that, like it's obviously offensive to.
Tree found that out yesterday.
Yeah,
You just found it out.
you can't represent the biggest motorsport in the country and have those kinds of slip ups. We saw it happen to Kyle Larson this last year. Obviously, his slip up was maybe a little more controversial, perhaps. A little more
I'd say that was a little more
I'd say, a little more at the very least.
But he was a face of the NASCAR Cup Series to out of the sport for a year. Obviously, he's back, but still, that was a huge roadblock, a huge fallback for him. So I think it's good that they're at least she's getting external assistance on this. She needs some traditional PR training. We've talked to her. She's really fun to talk to. She's one of the most outgoing and just almost brutally honest drivers or personalities in NASCAR that we've ever seen or talked to. But I do think a little bit of that traditional PR training will be beneficial for her in the long run.
That'll help.
Yeah,
That'll
I think building off that, it's kind of one of those things like she does have a great personality. Like just being around, talking to her multiple times, seeing her at the track, it's like you can see why she's so popular. But it's kind of like live by the sword, die by the sword. With her, if it was just this, I understand people being upset, and I'm not downplaying that in any way. I think it wouldn't have been as big a deal had it not been for like multiple instances. It was
There's
like
a history building up.
well, it's like death by 1,000 cuts at this point. It started with like her not caring about who she hit on the track, which again, I'm fine with tons of aggression. Early in 2020 at the 500, basically being out there and you can support whoever you want. She went out and was like overtly supporting Donald Trump. That's fine. Do what you want, but it's going to be controversial, especially nowadays. And then after that, there's the thing with, I think like the COVID, she's, kind of said the COVID was a hoax.
Yeah, it was a
Oh,
hoax.
yeah,
She has multiple incidents.
Yeah. So again, she is 19. That's not an excuse as much as I think it's reasoning. I think that once she matures up, I think this will help. I do think Eric's right though. She needs to get out of the bubble and really kind of just be judged the same way as any other driver. I think that's the difference here is that, people are kind of putting her at this like higher level, like being the next superstar. But, with all things considered, aside from, a regional series, she has not done anything super notable yet.
Yeah,
she's not won a national series. She's not even run competitively in any national series. She's made one truck start. That's it. You know, so I think she needs to curb her enthusiasm, I guess, and
Put some
basically
W's in the
humble up a little. I think.
Yeah.
At the very moment, she has done nothing to show me that like she's gonna be a Cup, star in the future. Like that's the thing that everybody needs to remember is that if she doesn't make the Cup Series as Real Rabin put it, then this is a failure, and I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, but she'll probably have a marketable career of some kind with NASCAR.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though.
Look at Danica, right?
I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, is she going to be viewed as a serious driver, or just another marketing gig? You know what I mean?
I think unlike Danica, though, she has tons of potential. Like Danica from the get-go, she showed some potential back when it was the nationwide series. She ran competitively at road courses and some races, but she was rushed up to Cup. And from there, like that was just the grave right there. If
Danica would have stayed in nationwide for a couple more years, her career would have been much differently. Well,
I won't say that Deegan is going to be a bust. The equipment she had last year wasn't the greatest, but at the same time, I think she needs to have that step up. I think this year is going to be pretty big as just she needs to look competent out there to start with and then start getting competitive as it goes on. That's what she did in 2018. And that's when the Deegan hype was hitting an all-time high.
Yeah.
I think that, she has plenty of potential and I'm not going to write her off yet. It's going to be a while just because of how young she is. But at the same time, she also, she's going to be more or less the face of NASCAR for a good portion of the fans.
And honestly, with Forsport having left, going back to Toyota, doesn't that make her the biggest Ford driver in the Truck Series this year?
Maybe. Right?
She'll be truck drivers this year.
She'll be one of them. All those manufacturer changes. Who else is running Ford? Besides
I don't know who else is running Fords.
The only other one running Ford is Front Row, but technically that's an extension of DGR.
Well, Tanner Gray's running a Ford, but
that's also DGR.
Yeah,
that's a teammate. There's no other team.
Exactly. So.
I'll look it up
Jared
right
Roman says, "What's worse, being a Detroit sports fan or being a Jets fan?" Being a Detroit fan.
Detroit, bro.
Detroit still have had some decency.
You will never be anything.
Multiple ways to screw you. The Jets are only the Jets. You expect the Jets you expect nothing and you get nothing. Detroit, they have false expectations and then you get nothing.
Poor Ed Soundhead.
I'm sorry, but when literally everybody in the NFC can dunk on you, you suck.
Yeah, true.
And then they think they're hot shit when they are 500.
Kirsten says, "Hey, I'm a Detroit fan, and I say the Jets." Oh, okay, fine. All right, Kirsten. I see you. I see you. How did Kirsten ends up being a big fan of Tom Grossi, who's a Packers honk?
Listen, I'm a Viking fan, and I like Tom.
Yeah, Tom is pretty funny. Yeah, I won't say that out loud, but he's funny.
Well, that's heresy. We got to put you at the stake, son.
Blue Cup. I knew she was 21. How to end up in jail? Okay. Speaking of that, Mickey Callaway, everyone. Wild card 26, $10. Calling it right now. Ty Gibbs is going to be the 2020 Xfinity Series champion.
Whoa.
Ty Gibbs.
Familiar with the Gibbs name.
Okay. He's better than a lot of people give him credit for, but I don't know about that.
Is he even running full time?
He'll be full time. Well, he's not full time this year. If they're saying 2022,
baby.
Oh, okay.
I'd see it.
Is he relations to Joe?
He's his grandson.
Yeah, his grandkid.
Okay.
We've had him on the show. He's a nice kid.
Listen, I will defend him because he has shown immense amount of talent. Granted, with having the Gibbs tree to go up, but at the same time, it's he has excelled beyond belief at that. He is really good, and he does not deserve the hate he gets.
Still just growing up around racing doesn't make you actually good at racing. You have to have the talent.
Look at Stephen Wallace.
Yes, Stephen Wallace. Oh,
okay. Look here. Speak of the devil. Tom.
Yeah.
Hey, name one active NASCAR driver. One.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right. Is Dale Earnhardt Jr. still doing his thing?
I
know Danica Patrick after she ruined Aaron Rodgers, so she's not doing it no more.
Yep.
So she's not participating. All right. So right now, yes. Oh crap! The Bubba guy. That
Oh,
one.
you got it. You're so close.
You almost got it. What's his name? What's his full name? And if
I
you
almost
say
said
Bubba Watson,
Franks,
I
the
swear.
Packers tight end. Is it Bubba Wallace? Is that?
Hey,
Oh,
there you
okay.
There we
go.
go.
Trick
I know
question.
NASCAR so well.
I was gonna tell you
Can you tell me
Bubba
his
Franks or
actual-
Bubba Gump.
Yeah.
Can you tell me his actual name?
No, I have no idea.
Honestly, I forget that
It's
sometimes.
Darrell Wallace Jr., right?
Yeah.
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 No, not a clue.
Nice.
The most I know is about like Mario Kart 64. Like that's where my knowledge of racing kind of starts.
Oh,
and stops. That's
God.
about
All
it.
right, wait. I'm gonna lay into Tom here.
Please.
Hold on. Name another track in NASCAR besides Daytona.
Indy.
Oh,
There you go.
Okay, all right.
Eating a little bit.
Yeah, because
A
they're
little bit.
500.
Indy's its own thing. got
Rainbow Road. That's another
Okay.
one.
Rainbow Road.
Classic races there.
Hershey Highway, is that one that you be driving up there? Okay.
I
Let me
believe
think,
in Toad's Turnpike.
think of a really esoteric question. That what kind of wrench do they use to take the tires off?
I would assume just be like a tire iron, like a normal human being. I mean, that's what I use to take off that's what I take mine off with.
All right.
So
How many laps is the
pretty sure they have like
Daytona
automated
500?
drills for that though. They go pretty fast. So
How many laps is the Daytona 500?
I would assume it's 500. That's just a shot in the dark though. Shot in the dark really could be any answer there.
I'll just go like super specific. Who won on June 18th, 2012 in the NASCAR Cup Series?
Oh, that's so easy. That's
Dale Earnhardt Jr. Come on now.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. Obviously, yeah,
I was there.
yeah. That was an easy one though.
Okay,
I mean,
serious question, Tom.
Yeah.
Would you go to a NASCAR race or have you been to one?
I have not been to one. So here's the thing. Here's my knowledge of NASCAR. So my uncle, who wears short purple shorts, that has nothing to do with this story, but he just does. He rocks those pretty well. But he got like a surround sound system and is like obsessed with NASCAR. So I've gone over to his house and it literally sounds like it's just going around.
Oh
your
yeah,
head. I
it's
was like,
nice.
That's cool.
It's
Okay.
nice.
Cool.
like that was the thing. All he did was like fast forward just to watch the crashes, right? So I was just like, okay. So like I never really got the allure. But here's what I will say. I would go to a NASCAR event because I know friends that have and say that you just get really drunk and just have a great time with your friends. And I was like, see, that sounds like a great time.
See,
So-
we do a little business when we're there nowadays. We don't really do that, but yeah, we watch the racing though.
Okay, I wouldn't do that, but like again, like if it was like every time they go around, do a shot. Let's do it.
You're gonna be dead, bro.
That's a good way to pass
Yeah,
it off.
that's the idea.
Especially at Bristol.
Take him to the Bristol night race.
Yeah, there's
500
500 laps
baby.
at Bristol. 50
Yeah, that's
second lap.
easy. Like, no worries. So, like, here's the thing. And maybe you can explain this to me as racing fans, right? I understand the allure of like doing it yourself, right? Of like going really fast and like going around the track. Like that's ridiculously fun. So, like, explain to me the allure of watching them like go around and round and round real fast.
It's better when you pick someone specific to root for and you can truly watch their entire race the entire time.
Okay.
You know, I've always gotten into it because it takes tremendous talent and skill just to, just to manhandle these 3,500 pound machines. I mean, since first grade, like, when I first started watching in the during the Gen 4 era, that was awesome to watch, and I haven't left ever since. So, I
would
watch the
say
talent.
seeing it in person, like on TV, is amazing. Don't get me wrong, because they can isolate and show you. But seeing it in person, there's nothing like it. It's louder than you could imagine. It's faster than you could imagine, and it's physically involving. Like when you're in the stands, you feel the whoosh of the cars, you feel the vibration. Like it's like. And I think I said this yesterday. It's like the difference between watching hockey on TV and then going to a hockey game where you are like, holy shit, these guys are flying around the ice. These cars are, it's unfathomable. Like if you it's kind of like the Goodwill Hunting syndrome where the guy reads everything in the books, but he's never experienced anything. When you go see a NASCAR race in person, you would probably be very impressed.
Look at you pulling out cultural references like that. Look at you.
you go.
I'm proud of you.
Goodwill Hunting.
Yes.
Just building off that, it's one of those things too that it's not only the race itself when you go, because you got to go to at least one. I always tell people that Around the track too. I mean, obviously with COVID, it's different, but they have like so much stuff built up around the track and just like it's like a town basically.
Yeah.
So you got like the souvenirs and everything like that, but like some tracks will literally bring in monster trucks for you to ride in, or some will have like a freaking Ferris wheel at them, and they will not stop that thing even if there is lightning around. Just telling you that now from experience.
Chicagoland. That's right.
And I gotta say, you got like if you can get into the infield when it opens up, because you will see some of the wildest shit of your life,
especially in Talladega. I want to go to Talladega.
Oh my god!
What's that you call a woman that hangs around the pits? A pit viper?
Pit lizard.
We call them pit lizards.
Pit lizard.
Yeah,
Talladega infield is rated R.
Hey, I don't mess with pit lizards, bro. Those, you don't want to do that.
That's,
All right, we brought in American V8 power here to give Tom
yeah, baby.
Not only did we grill Tom Grossi about his limited NASCAR knowledge, then we bring in a Bears fan to talk shit. So make it quick, guys. We got super chats, and then eventually this show will end, even though I'm having a ton of fun.
Tom, I got a quick question for you. What's the most powerful car you've ever owned?
A Prius.
Hey. My 99 Honda Accord was pretty big deal. I think it was like a V6 or something. I don't know what it was.
Okay, so did you
now
ever?
I have a Hyundai Sonata, so I'm getting like at least 25 miles to the gallon. So jealous.
Same man.
This is not the miles per gallon crowd we're talking to here. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's the new Hyundai. It's reliable and all that stuff. But I'm talking about like
2013.
What is the most adventurous time you've ever had in a car? Like as far as like speed or attempting to do something with it.
I got 120 once.
Oh yeah. I've got 115.
So we used to race through the back roads because I live up in like northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin. And what we would do is, because I was like 16, 17 at the time. And that's probably the first time I'm actually saying this in front of people. So if my parents are watching, this is what I did in my spare time.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. So, and I don't do this anymore. But what we do is we'd go out at like pitch black at midnight. You know, there'd be like moonlight that would help us too, but we'd turn off the lights and we'd go around the back roads at like 100, 110 miles an hour and just use the light from the other cars to guide us where we were going.
Honestly, Iceberg, that's not very far from myself because, well, you say northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin. I'm assuming Rockford, Beloit, somewhere in there.
Yep, Rockford, Janesville, I'm all around there.
Wow.
Let me tell you something about going up to Rockford from Chadwick.
Ooh, I want to hear this.
Or Mount Carroll, or the places
this.
where I grew up at. I turned 16 in about 2004, and my first car was an 84.
In about 3 more years, I'll be 16.
Okay, yeah. I'm still got to drop Tommy Kami off at school. But after I've dropped him off at the school building, I'm now turning the car and I'm heading up to Cherryvale Mall or just whatever the hell I'm doing in Rockford that day.
I know. Yep.
Yeah. So the quickest way to get there from Carroll County is Montague Road, which goes from outside of Shannon through the cornfield straight and ends up on the south end of Rockford at the very southwest edge where the bypass goes around the south end.
Ooh boy. Oh boy.
Where they built that Lowe's DC, if you know where that's at.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
So, and I had this 84 Caprice Classic. And if anybody knows what a Caprice is, it is a barge. It's an 8-cylinder barge.
It's a boat.
It is a boat. And this boat used to go through those Corn Oceans on Montague Road doing about 75, 80.
Yeah.
But the absolute worst thing I ever did, and I'm pretty sure the statute is up on
This is like Chunk admitting to something.
No, the worst. Hey, look! Don't make me do the truffle shuffle. I'll make you get.
Oh, jeez.
The worst, absolute worst thing I ever did is I worked in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, for a time, and as I was there, I owned a Dodge Challenger. I owned a 2011 Challenger SRT8. It had the 392 motor, and it had a 6-speed manual. And there was one time I was going west out of Cedar Rapids just because I was blowing off a little steam, and I wanted to have a little speed event. Mm-hmm. This dude and his buddy came up behind me in this Ford, the last Fiesta they made, the newest Fiesta from a few years ago. That little Fiesta ESRS or whatever, the sporty one.
Uh-huh.
about as sporty as you can make a rubber banded powered little car. Anyway, he comes up behind me, and we're on US 30 facing west out of Cedar Rapids. It's 4 lanes wide, 65 mile an hour is the speed limit. I'm in the left lane behind cars that are passing, but then merging over. As they merge over, and one more merges over, and one more merges over, this tow truck in front of me merged over, and I had this clear line for 2 miles, and there was no other cars in sight, not even a cop. And this little fucking Fiesta behind me, I had enough of them. So doing about 70 with traffic.
I'm so afraid how this story is going to end with like a hit and run. You're like, and I fucking buried those bodies deep.
The only thing I buried was the gas pedal after I dropped it from 6th to 4th, and I dropped it. It chirped when I took off. And I went from 75 to 105, 5th gear, 105 to 130, 6th gear, I just put it in the floor, and I watched that Fiesta turn into a fucking postage stamp in my rearview mirror.
And now every summer, a man in a trench coat haunts me.
Now, by the time that I had lost the Fiesta behind me, I looked down at the speedometer, and my eyes about shot out of my head because it said 171. So,
Jesus Christ!
Bro, if you want to go somewhere, if you want to go somewhere where that's normal, like drive like on rush hour in Minneapolis. It's freaking nuts through there. We're going 125 and getting passed by semi trucks.
It's nuts.
Gotta deliver. Hey, I'm slowing down. I'm slowing down.
If you want a good
slow down, you die.
Yeah, I'm going off the road, right?
Well, Iceberg, as a fellow Northern Illinois, and I don't know if you've gone through Peoria before, but if you've been on I-155 between Peoria and Lincoln, that is the perfect place to go and set speed records because there's nobody there.
Every time I go down south, I do that.
It is an interstate that goes to nowhere.
A car in a straight line, really, at that speed, it's not scary like to go 170, or 115.
Well, honestly, the Challenger is built in such a way that it just sits down when you get above 100.
Yeah, but the only thing that it's doing is vibrating. In a straight line, if you fuck up, you're going to be dead. But it's really hard to fuck up in a straight line.
Yeah.
All right, look, Tom and American, thanks for hijacking our stream. Tom, do you have anything to say? Because I'll let you go and edit and do whatever your shit is, but I just wanted to bring you on here and insult you.
Go study some NASCAR.
I appreciate you sharing because again, it's one of those things that I a lot of people like it, and I just never. I just never had the connection to it, so I appreciate you taking the time to do it. Not you, 5. Go fuck yourself. But
I agree with that statement.
Hey, real quick before
I've never understood why people like 5 Points Vids. He's a giant asshole and insults every guest that comes on the show, and he's
bald
dick.
And he's bald.
He's a bitch too.
Real quick before he goes, Tom, can you tell me who drives the 48 car?
No. Nope. I couldn't tell you one. I couldn't tell you 2, all the way up to whatever number it goes to. Nope, that's it.
I can tell you who used to, or is he still doing it this year, or is he out this year?
He's out.
It's who you're thinking of, probably out.
Isn't Jeff Gordon a person? I feel like Jeff Gordon.
He's been retired for about 6 years now, I think.
He's the general manager for the New York Rangers.
Dude, Tom, we got to bring you out to a race sometime, man.
We will. We'll bring you out.
Points, we got to bring y'all.
I wanted to see if he'd at least try to say Jimmy Johnson for the 48 car. He didn't do that.
Nope. Because again, it's so far removed. I see it on Fox when I watch football, and I'm just like, oh, okay, that's a thing. And then that's it. So, all right, folks, have a fantastic evening.
All right, later, man.
We're gonna
on.
Bye-bye. I gotta go pick up Tommy Kami from the school again.
Oh yeah, pick him up.
His Hyundai wouldn't start.
No, it runs on vegan energy, and that's why he couldn't get it to run.
He couldn't shove enough kale.
There's no vegetables
I'm
available.
It's
all full of snow.
All right, I got some supers to read here. Wild card 26, calling it right now. Oh no, I already read that. Bud. What non-NASCAR athlete would be able to compete in NASCAR? Also, hello from East Tennessee. Who was it? Who was the NFL player that got caught speeding really bad?
Lamar Jackson.
Was it Le'Veon Bell?
No, Antonio Brown got
caught.
Antonio Brown,
a lot, but he wasn't super fast.
Okay, here's my question. Who's someone with amazing reflexes, out of this world? How Chris Carter used to be able to just be like,
NHL goalies would probably be great.
Probably them.
Yeah, probably
NASCAR
them.
drivers. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What
Well,
about
you've
the
had-
what
had
about
guys
the
like-
catchers in baseball? Maybe them. You have to have fast reflexes to catch the ball.
Wilson Contreras.
Yeah. But you know what? Catching more is about the preparation.
Oh,
it's
I'll
not
go. Javier Baez.
Javier Baez.
Yeah.
Baez.
Good one.
Yeah, he's
think
kind of
maybe-
a smallish
I think
guy.
Aaron Rodgers is someone that he'd just be good at everything that he does.
He
Tom
should race
Brady.
NASCAR.
Probably
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Tom
Hey,
He does
Brady.
fuck everything.
I would
Yeah.
love to see AB in NASCAR though. That'd be hilarious. He'd be entertaining. That dude would be
Oh,
so
he
nice.
would be
He
just
just
going
crashing
off.
everything.
He would,
Yeah.
he would take no prisoners. No.
If we
prisoners.
had if NASCAR had like some sort of Dennis Rodman type personality, oh my god, that would be insane.
Imagine a Tim Richmond in this age.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, Tim Richmond,
yeah.
bro.
I
Tim
would love
Richmond.
that.
Oh my god, don't even get me started on
So-
him. Oh,
I have a story about so I used to work with this dermatologist and he had all this memorabilia and he had a picture of a NASCAR from the 80s or early 80s, I think, and it was a whole bunch of drivers and they're all standing and smiling and Tim Richmond's on the side with his dick out of his suit.
This image has been debated on for so long if it's real or not.
I don't know if
Leisure
it's
Suit
real or
Larry.
not, but he had a huge blow up print of it, and he's just like, "Hey, look in the bottom left, and there's a penis in there." And I was like, I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah.
If
Man.
there was somebody like over the last 30 years that would have been close, like because we were Danny, Darian, and I were streaming last week and reading old stories from J-Ski's archives and stuff. And if there was anyone who used to be like just the partier, it had to be Dale Jr. Like we literally were reading through and we didn't even realize it's like there was a story that him and his friends were drunk and ATVing on somebody else's property and ended up getting arrested, like just out of the blue. And then immediately after that, he skips like all his sponsor meet and greet so he can go to a Kid Rock concert like halfway
with
across
Tony
the country.
Stewart. With
With
Tony
Tony
Stewart.
Stewart.
Nice.
Those guys, man, they're rock stars, man. I know that when I was a bouncer, they'd come in when it was race weekend and they'd pick whatever cocktail waitress that they
Oh,
want.
I bet. Yeah.
I bet.
Like, hey, let's go to the nicest hotel
Like
in Richmond.
NASCAR
and-
drivers in the NASCAR drivers in the late 90s and early 2000s were like just as big as like, you know, basketball players, football players back in the day. Like
They
even,
still are big.
even today, they're still like that. I used to work in car sales, and my manager told me that he once partied pretty hard with Austin Dillon out in Nashville. And
oh, yeah. They know the story.
We got a few funny stories we can't say on the stream.
Yeah, we can't
Probably
say it.
tell you all about.
Yeah. You probably witnessed some behavior. Sam Jeanette, stoked for NASCAR to be back. Also, go Browns, keep the salt coming tree. Yep.
Oh yeah. How about no salt? I think I'm salted out. I had to salt my sidewalk with a little bit of the excess salt that I had from the
If
Browns
AB
game.
wins the Super Bowl this weekend, then yeah, you'll see.
I'll
some
be
stuff.
mega fucking salty
Yeah.
if that happens.
The
Just
Rams
watch, as I
behind-
said, just watch my prediction. It's going to be a game-winning touchdown, Hail Mary to Antonio Brown at the last.
Yeah, and then he gets a nice lucrative contract with another team, and
Yeah, and I'll be like, "Fuck you,"
I hope the
the
Vikings
Rammers
sign him.
won.
and then he gets immediately cut by August.
Yep.
Red and Slapshoe's voice. Can I interest you in our Lord and Savior, Mark Martin?
I'm telling you, if you can get a driver on this show, it's Mark Martin.
Mark
That
Martin's perfect.
The dude's hilarious. Like literally, like we had to have an intermission with him because he didn't want off the show. He just wanted to keep talking. So we had to
Yeah,
take
that was an
an
awkward
intermission.
We
Yeah,
didn't
my
communicate
friend
with him
dated
ahead
his
of time.
daughter for a while.
we were supposed to have him last week. I think last second he was traveling or something.
Yeah, he was traveling and stuff. But no, the first
Still
time
partying
we
hard.
saw him, the first time we ever interacted with Mark Martin was hilarious. He was like, he said something along the lines of,
He come in cussing.
I know.
that.
Yeah. So he couldn't get it ready because he thought we were supposed to send it to his AOL email. And we're like, no, we're not. And so we're about to start, and he goes, "Hey guys, I'm sorry, I just fucking suck at this."
I'm a dumbass. Yeah, something like
he's
that.
like,
He said something
he goes, I'm an effing dumbass.
that.
Like the first thing, and we're just like, well, good to meet you
Crazy.
too.
Blood Pounder 420, my favorite screen name of all time. NASCAR playoff sabotage Princess Diana's seatbelt.
Hey, you too. Stop. What is
Jesus.
Rid me of this abomination. Look, he's
What, did the
trolling, I
NASCAR
like it.
playoffs melt steel beams too?
Yes.
Oh,
Contrails of the NASCAR
First
playoffs.
it was he was getting
Our
beat by his
poison.
dad because the playoffs exist, and now he's now Diana. Come on, bro.
Send your complaint. Send your comments to Steve O'Donnell.
Don't tell him that, man.
Next, you're going to
Beach
say the
race to
NASCAR
melt steel
playoffs.
beams.
Next, you're going to say the NASCAR playoffs are the Branch Davidians, and you got to burn their compound
Oh,
down.
wow. We are demonetized. All
Oh, we
right.
got demonetized.
Blue Cup, NASCAR go vroom vroom, Tom Grassi 2020. Yep, that's pretty much how that went. Alan Nadeau, hey Tom, you should get a hold of Josh Balicki and see about getting the Pack Cast on his car. Ooh.
Oh yeah, because Josh
Ooh,
Balicki,
yeah.
he is from there. He is a local, and he
He's
is
running a bunch of for his Daytona car. He's got a bunch of Wisconsin businesses. I know he's the
Yeah,
insurance king.
Oh, then Hiei could launch a jihad against his car.
Isn't
A
insurance
street,
king one?
a paint scheme for a Barrica.
Yeah, that's the way you do it. See his recent paint scheme announcement, right? The Rammers line, Darian Pat Mahomes' brother Gillian.
As I said, dude, go on TikTok. You'll get random underage girls. You're not
I don't
going to get
wanna-
with them, but guess
I don't-
what? That's the
I don't-
average age of TikTok.
That's
They love
selling
that
out, bro. I don't want to sell out, bro. Let's just sell.
You
it
had
out.
me
shit.
at
Hey, I
random.
sold out the moment I started doing this shit.
No,
man.
no. If
We
you're on
sell out the
TikTok,
moment we start making
no,
the
bro.
bids.
If you're a grown man on TikTok doing all these dances, bro, what are you doing, bro? Like, go talk to a girl.
Well, they might be.
Well, unless
doing
you're that
some-
guy who worked at that potato warehouse in Idaho, then you just get a bunch of money from who the hell was it? Ocean Spray.
Yeah.
Some of these grown men, they do too much on TikTok, bro. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, but here's the thing with TikTok, there's like restoration videos on there. There's like DIY projects.
There is
You don't have to be
stuff.
some thought dancing with your ass.
yeah, I mean, I
there's
just
that
post
on
whatever.
YouTube too, though.
Yeah.
Like if there's like well, the thing with TikTok is like if you just immediately like just start following stuff you actually like or people on there that you actually like, it cleans itself out over time. You know, the Chinese government's really good at getting the stuff we don't want.
Yeah,
off
they
the
know how to
screen.
suppress
Well,
things.
no,
on TikTok.
as long as you don't talk about a few certain issues on that platform, you should
Ah.
be okay.
Right.
Yeah.
The Uyghur
We will not discuss
Don't talk about the
Tiananmen and
Uyghurs.
Falun Gong,
Talk
Tibet,
about Winnie
free
the
Tibet,
Pooh.
free Hong Kong.
Don't
Bill
talk about the
Murray.
concentration
Joe
camps,
Maury, I
all
think,
that.
is banned from there. Joey Overstreet, look, I can take down Tommyism with a couple things. One, 5 points Giants beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl, and the Steelers beat the Packers, and so did the Broncos in Super Bowl 32. Down with Tommyism. Down. Alex Tomasic says the Bears, the Bears, the Bears, the Bears, the Bears. Supporting American
Sold.
V8 power. And
See, that's the problem with communism is that it can't get above 6 cylinders. You just can't get it up.
yeah, it stops at 6, huh? That's pathetic.
Just,
Alex Tomasic, how much to see tree wreck an iRacing car with the Steelers symbol as part of next year's Days of Our Steelers intro? So I have a question. If I'm sort of a graphic designer, can I design my own paint schemes? And
Yeah, you can actually.
You're trading paint, right?
There's some really good people who can help design it too on there. Like if you wanted like a Giant scheme or a Steelers scheme or something, go for it. Like there's people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all you'd have to do 5 points is just get on there to NASCAR Twitter, and you'll find someone who'll make you something cool.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah. I recommend Noah Sweet though. That's the best.
yeah, a lefty is the best.
Yeah, lefty.
Mets cast first car 99 Pontiac Grand Am red. Mine was a 89 Ford Ranger red. Stick
Mine
shift.
was a 95 Volvo 850 passed down from my mom. And we got it for like a month.
I was
One
a
Chevy
white,
Impala.
I was a white 05 4-cylinder Ford Ranger. Then it went to a 2014 6-cylinder Tacoma, which got totaled in December, and now I have a 2014 V8 Silverado.
Oh, you're in the
2000
century. Congrats.
2006 Suzuki. I can't remember what it was called. but it was-
Suzuki? Ooh.
Yeah, I had that.
Was it an Amigo?
I
Please
don't
be
know.
an
It was
Amigo.
really small though. It was a really small
it's
car.
not-
Was it a shopping cart powered by a Singer sewing machine?
Sure, that's the equivalent of that, I guess.
Eric,
Yeah.
what was your first?
Like
I
a
had
Geo
a-
Metro.
I had a 2005 Honda Element passed down from my dad. So a nice box. I was driving a lunchbox around town.
Nice.
So
it was
out of
roomy.
everybody here,
Could
Yeah,
you
you're
fit in the
tall.
car?
How'd you fit in
I'm
that?
I'm 6'7" for people who don't know. And actually, yes, there's plenty of space in that Honda Element. I miss that thing sometimes. That thing was roomy.
well,
Do you
it sits
hit
on a
your
car
head
chassis
on
and it's
ceiling
about shaped like a
fans?
toaster.
No, I don't hit my head on ceiling fans, but the other day I accidentally was like putting on a shirt as a fan was buzzing around, and I scarred up my finger pretty bad. That was rough.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Bad move right there.
yeah, that was
Wild
unfortunate.
card 26, being a rookie in 2006, choking in 2010, bad pit strategies in 2014 and 2019, and getting outperformed in 2020. Denny Hamlin's championship heartbreaks will end eventually.
He just signed a big extension, so he'll be
Yeah,
around
he's
for
not
2 more
going
years.
there.
Nice.
You'll get plenty more years of heartbreak with Denny Hamlin.
He might win his third straight 500 though. That's going to be historic.
That's
Nobody's
pretty huge
ever
if he
won
does
3
that.
straight.
Ooh, we're
Yeah.
gonna have to get predictions right before the end of the
yeah.
show.
Well, are we going to make predictions, NASCAR?
Or,
podcast
wait, are
crew,
you
or-
doing them tomorrow
Well,
night?
we
Yeah.
could get we
We'll be
could
doing
get
it next Wednesday, I think.
Yeah,
The
next
beauty
one.
of the
We'll do our
beauty of
Super
the
Bowl
Daytona,
ones.
we
the
could get
beauty of the
people to
Daytona
watch
500
for-
is it's such a crapshoot that you kind of just
Pretty
every
much.
day it's different, you know. Like
Yeah.
today I'm
Cope.
feeling Ryan Blaney, tomorrow I might be feeling Denny Hamlin.
Derek Cope. Derek Cope.
Derek Cope.
Trevor Bain's gonna win it. His second win in.
Is he in the truck race this year? Is he?
He's
Is he?
I think he's in the truck race. I believe so.
He
I
could
don't
win
know if he's
something.
back. I don't know if he's back with that.
I don't think he is
Hmm.
either. I haven't checked.
Jeremy Parente showing up late, but my money is on Bubba to pull out a big win in his debut. for
He's going to be a
Michael Jordan.
contender. He'll be a contender.
I'd like to see him get a win. He's already said he's got a personal goal of 2 wins. I'm like, you need to get 1 before you say 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's
compete
true.
before you even get one.
I thought it was interesting. I saw today he told the media that he hadn't actually met Michael Jordan in person yet until he has a meeting scheduled this week.
That's
He's only
crazy.
called or
Interesting.
texted him in the last few months.
I mean, anyone that meets Michael Jordan, that's like a privilege, right? Like
Right.
at this point, you know, how many meetings with Michael Jordan are left in the world?
Good
Just
point.
seeing him would be a big deal. Like, hey, that's
That-
Michael Jordan, right there.
That is one team owner I doubt we will ever get on our show.
Well, you never
But I will
say never.
try.
We'll see.
I will try.
We'll do our
We've had
best.
the president of NASCAR talk to us, so I wouldn't rule
Yeah.
anything out.
We'll see.
Yeah, but what does Mike have to gain by coming on your show?
Yeah.
Like
Everything 5 points.
that's
And I
right,
took
that's
that
true.
personally.
Yeah, he took it personally.
Uh-huh. The Ramers
trust
line. So, which of you guys' dream car you always wanted? For me, it's a Lamborghini Countach.
I want a McLaren. I love the
A
McLaren.
McLaren F1. Yeah, those
Yeah,
are some sleek looking
McLaren.
these cars,
Oh.
man.
Bugatti
I like the
Veyron,
70 Chevelle behind me.
I also like the Renaults too. The Renaults are also cool. I
the
love them.
Renaults.
That if I want to be fancy, maybe a Bentley or a Rolls Royce.
I think it's going to be my next car, boys. My next car is going to be a Tesla Model S.
Ooh.
Tesla.
Tesla.
Going
I
for
want
the
a
new
new
money.
truck.
I don't know how many of you guys know this. I think Tree and 5 Points knows it because I've told them. But for the last couple of weeks, I've actually had Tesla up installing a solar roof on top of my house.
Oh.
Now they didn't
Yeah.
come today because it rained here in California, but they'll be back tomorrow pending weather, and they should actually be done with it Friday. And then my house batteries come Saturday.
So basically,
Home
can you be
improvement.
off the grid from that?
By the size of my system and the amount of batteries I have, I will be about 98% off grid
So,
under my current consumption.
so my question is: are you like financing this? So then your power bill, your monthly financing bill would be lower than your power bill. Is that the plan?
The financing I have on it as of now, the payments start off at a certain amount, which is higher than my power bill, and especially like my power bill in the summer is just stupid. Like I've paid PG&E like $474 a month in the summer
Jeez.
to run air conditioning.
Damn.
I thought 200 was crazy for mine.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
realize in California that our price per kilowatt hour is about double of most of the rest of the country.
Everything in
California
California.
sucks.
yeah.
I don't want to live in California anymore.
But
It sucks
I
out
wouldn't live in California. Shit.
I get to
Don't they
give
have a
the middle
football
finger to
there?
PG&E for this,
Hmm.
and because I'm generating so much energy, I'm going to build a crypto mining computer.
Nice.
Oh,
And-
Nice.
That
What kind
is
of
how you
graphics processors
monetize
are you
that-
going to get for that?
That is how you monetize generating extra power.
Damn, this guy's a
Nice.
you could
genius
sell
right
it to
Are
your
you-
neighbor.
He's
Here's
had
my question: are you
I'm
going to
jealous.
invest in Dogecoin?
here.
You know, I see that mining for Doge is not quite where it is right now. I know that Doge's value has gone up, but I think that there's enough of a mixed basket of other cryptos that I can go to mine on, and I can mine them faster than Bitcoin and actually get a better rate because I can mine more of Ethereum or more of Litecoin than I can Bitcoin.
Dude, Ethereum's where it's at right now.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Really good
skyrocketing.
run.
The sneaky one. Like it's gonna shoot out of nowhere, and then it's gonna be national news, and you'll have
Nobody's
to
looking at
find
it.
it.
I think
Like, no one
Dogecoin
is
like
looking
kind of
at it.
plummeted again, unfortunately. I think
It
it was like up to
probably
like
did.
0.08 cents, and then it dropped to like nothing.
Well,
It's
it's
like a
been
meme
floating
coin.
for 1/10 of a cent, and then it went up to 4 cents, and now it's going back down. So I can't say I'm surprised.
Andrew Meyer, this is the greatest crossover in crossover history. I love watching all y'all's videos. Awesome stream. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it. And the last super chat, and then we can talk about anything. The Rammers line. So when do we get Brock Beard? Yeah. when do we
Oh,
get
OG,
Brock Beard on?
NASCAR YouTube OG. Yeah, Brock Beard, bro. He's been in the game for like what, 15 years, it feels like.
He's been
Yeah,
doing
look him up.
He's just now gaining the much due traction his channel deserves.
Yeah, he deserves way more, but he just hit 10K. He does like these videos on like the last place cars, the former field fillers we were just talking about.
Yeah,
Oh,
his channel's been up since June 17th, 2006. Like he is an OG
Mhm.
YouTuber.
Yeah,
like,
he
but how
OG.
long has he like been making videos for? Because a lot of people have like older
Around
channels. that don't
2006,
really-
right?
Really?
I can check. He used to do like a lot of he did like the starting grids, right?
Mhm, he did.
Yeah,
I remember
I
watching
remember-
those when I was a kid.
Yeah, let me see, because wasn't it like 2008, 2009 he was doing?
Yeah,
like, a lot of
yeah.
those?
One of the look one of those up. Yeah.
Yeah, the oldest video he has on here is from 2000. It's from 14, 15 years ago. Like,
Mhm.
he was,
Damn.
yeah,
He's
the
cool.
dude
man.
is an
I can't believe
OG.
it's
He's
been that
awesome.
long for YouTube. 15 years.
Dude, I know.
Golly.
Yeah.
I remember the first video I saw on YouTube was Lazy Sunday, re-uploaded from Saturday Night Live.
I think I forget what my first one was. Like it was like August 2006.
Let's see.
First
My-
video you uploaded?
No, that I
Oh.
saw.
I think-
Remember when YouTube you played it in the Flash player?
Oh, in the Flash player, the
Oh,
video
yeah.
quality was terrible.
Man, I
Everything
remember-
else, like it was 240p. Imagine
I
that
remember-
now. Like imagine
Oh,
my
yeah.
streams, but
Pixels.
in that quality throughout the video.
See,
You can
I-
count the pixels.
I remember when like my friends and we'd show up early to school so that we could all huddle around the giant cube computer and like watch the newest Rucka Rucka Ali video and stuff like that. Like, I remember that we got in trouble a few times for singing "I'm a Korean" in class.
Remember in the beginning of YouTube, there was no monetization, there was no
Nah.
ads. People
There
just
wasn't
uploaded
monetization until
because-
like 2010, 2011.
right.
It was the Wild West.
Yeah.
you could
I,
do and
I
say
missed
whatever
that
they
time,
wanted.
the Wild West. I
It
mean,
was
you couldn't make
crazy,
money
but
off it, but
nobody
like you had
would
the freedom. But at the
40
same
times-
time, you
That's
couldn't
why my
upload
user-
anything.
That's why my username is as it is. Everyone knows me as HA2K7 because I made this account in January of 2007.
So unfortunately, my first ever YouTube video, a video as a kid was the ending of the 2001 Daytona 500 because I hadn't seen it up to that point, and I finally found it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this ain't good." So,
I remember.
And the
watching
same
them
thing
live.
is that was a great race until that happened.
oh
I
yeah,
know.
it would have been the greatest Daytona 500 up until the final lap. So like the first
Mm-hmm.
199 laps, amazing, but then the final one, yeah.
And it was a great story of Mikey winning his first race too.
Mikey,
And his
got
brother Daryl.
Rocky won his race.
it.
Yeah.
And then the next race after that at Daytona, the Pepsi 400, when Junior brought it home and Mikey pushed
Yeah.
him from second.
NASCAR's rigged. NASCAR's rigged.
It's great.
You say NASCAR's rigged, but I dare you to watch
Nah.
those last 10 to 15
was-
laps of that race on YouTube and tell me that somehow out of all that, they engineered Waltrip getting up there and pushing Junior.
Oh yeah,
I
Walter
don't
was
think-
like,
I-
Walter
yeah,
was
I
like,
don't
no, I'm
think
not
that they're-
passing.
Yeah, he was like,
yeah, Walter was helping him actually.
Didn't they both
yeah.
do burnouts after the race too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
and
like both
Chocolate
doing
came out.
burnouts and they hugged each other. It was awesome.
Well, because you remember that Waltrip never got his whole victory
Mhm.
lane and
Yeah.
everything
Well,
else.
actually, he did. He was in victory lane. It just kind of was like good for a little bit, but it was like, oh,
Yeah, they're like,
What
hey,
happened?
he's
Yeah,
like-
it lasted 2 seconds.
basically.
yeah, it's like crew chief at the time was like, we can celebrate. You know, I remember seeing that like when I watched it for the
It-
first time.
it was honestly like he got to celebrate more than I think really Denny Hamlin did this year because at that point they were telling Denny, "It's like, hey, just don't do anything. We don't know what's going on."
Yeah.
Yeah, Denny got kind of screwed out of his mo. I mean, had it a year before, but still, like they were like, "What just happened?"
He already has 3 already, so it's
And,
like
In the outro for our show, I used Denny Hamlin winning the 2019 500 instead of 2021 just because he looked a lot happier in 2019.
Alex McLeod says, "What about Dogecoin?" Yeah, we covered that. And then Jake Baskinger making an appearance with the
Hey, Jake.
super chat,
Jake.
buying the 420 business in CCIP. I'm in the 420. Well, yeah.
You're into what?
No,
the
I
what?
didn't say anything. Stephen
In the what?
Gibson for 5. I'll be listening to this podcast in a bit. Just want to stop by and give $5 and say hey to the NWP boys, ready for tomorrow night.
What's up?
We're
Yeah.
on Danny B Talks channel.
Yeah, Danny B Talks will have Alan Cavano on, a former pit road reporter.
There you
Well,
go.
there
Now
we
you can do
are.
that
We
here in
made it through all the
California.
super chats. I know I said I was going to let y'all run it, but I basically ran it the whole time.
Hey, this
So
is
I-
cool. No, this
We
is
talked
cool.
some NASCAR.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like that win because it didn't just become our show tomorrow again.
Yeah.
there you go.
Another show, the same show tomorrow, basically. But no, this is cool.
No, I'm really looking forward to the 5. I know that you guys are going to predict tomorrow night, but Tree and I will go ahead and predict.
Yeah, go ahead.
It won't be on your show. I think Harvick takes it. For some
Harvick, huh?
reason, I'm just feeling Harvick. Just like you said earlier, tomorrow I could be feeling Hamlin. Like, but right
Yeah,
now,
that's the thing. I feel like it's just going to be somebody who hasn't really won anything. So I want to say Keselowski, but I'm probably going to say William Byron just for the hell of it.
Ooh,
Oh,
he
yeah,
did
he
win
won
the
the
last
last
race at
Daytona.
Daytona. Yeah. Last
Yeah.
summer.
Could be one of his teammates. So
Yeah.
Well, how about you guys can pick the 500 and we'll pick the Super Bowl. How about that?
All right.
There you go.
okay, you got let's get your Super Bowl picks out the way. I'll call you out one by one. Iceberg, you're up first.
So I personally think that because I notice a lot of people are just writing off the Bucks because of how good the Chiefs are. But I think the Buccaneers and Tom Brady are going to engineer an amazing drive. And just for pain's sake, I think that it's going to end up being 20-17, the same, and the Buccaneers are going to win. And it's going to be the same score as Tom Brady's first Super Bowl, and he's going to ride off into the sunset after the game.
I don't think he retires. Why would he retire if he wins another Super Bowl? He would be
Kinda
like,
like a
"Oh, I
3-year
just
deal,
won
right?
a Super Bowl. Like, why would I?"
Learn from Brett Favre. Retire when you're still good.
And before you send dick pics to your coworkers, of course.
He was still good after he did that.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, Super Bowl prediction.
See, I think it'll be a high scoring game. I'll go 40-31 Chiefs. Now, I'm probably of the 4 podcast guys here. I'm probably not the biggest football fan of the bunch, but the little bit of the playoffs I watched I guess almost 2 weeks ago now, that Chiefs offense seems virtually unstoppable, and it seems Mahomes is healthy, and if that's the case, I think watch out. So I'll go Chiefs, win 2 in a row, and win in a high scoring game.
Okay, awesome. American V8 power. Give us your high octane Super Bowl prediction.
I gave the Super Bowl last week when I said Chiefs over Bucks 35-21, but I will predict for the Daytona 500, and I'm going to pick somebody who may not be common. And correct me if I'm wrong. I don't follow NASCAR as much as I used to, but Joey Logano's still racing, isn't he?
Yep.
In his prime.
He's one of the best at it.
He's won this before.
I will take Logano at
Good
the
pick.
500.
I like a Penske car. I think they'll be fast. Keselowski, Logano, Blaney, even DiBenedetto. I think those are good picks.
Yeah.
Centric.
Oh, if he makes the show, yeah, watch
If he
out.
makes it.
Yeah.
Black.
Black.
Everybody up here getting fucking canceled.
You got my prediction
Instant
yesterday, Bob.
canceled. I'm going to cry in shame.
But yeah, not 5. You got
Black
my
Lives Matter. Sorry. I got to correct myself so I don't get canceled. What's
Well,
your Super Bowl?
at least you learn from my mistake.
Yes.
I was so tempted to just call myself black on here.
Black.
Are you just saying that because I'm black?
The mark of shame. No. I'm translucent. I'm like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
You are the whitest person I've ever met, by the
The only one person white. I only know one person who's whiter, and it's in my family.
Yeah.
All right, Darian, let's go.
I made my prediction yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Did
You
Yeah.
said-
I said Tampa Bay 31-28.
Oh wait, let me see this. Hold on.
Mhm.
Let me look at the spreadsheet if I got that in there.
All right,
correctly. Did I get it? Hold on.
And then I also said Brady scores a last second touchdown too to AB. to win the game.
I hope that happens.
I hope it happens.
Just
Yep, yeah.
just for
Bucks
hell's
31-28.
Yeah.
Okay, Danny, you're here to close out the predictions and the show.
All right. I do think that the Buccaneers seem more capable of beating the Chiefs than last year's 49ers, in my opinion. I like the aesthetic of the Buccaneers playing in their own stadium. These two teams have played each other already this season. Chiefs won by 3, I think. I'm going to say the opposite. I'm going to say Buccaneers by 3, 27-24.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's put that down. 27-24. All right. Well, we made it to the end of the show, guys. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thanks for having us.
Is there anything you want to talk about before we wrap up? Here's Alex Thomas.
Or super chat.
Wow. Chisel Adonis in the chat.
Second, trying to get it after the bell. He says, I'm sure I've said this on Eric's stream before, but my pick for the 500 is Stenhouse winning stage 1, then wreck 20 laps after. Blaney winning stage 2. William Byron winning in the end 5 big ones, including Stenhouse wreck.
And I think I said during that live stream, but I'll say it again. That honestly sounds extremely close to reality. This man might be from the future. I can see that happening.
I can see it.
Let's look at. We'll have to go back to this clip when all that shit happens. It's very Chiefs win. Fish Production says Chiefs win 28-3. That would be goddamn hilarious. Okay, wait. If the Bucks win 28-3, does Brady just retire after that?
He should.
That would be.
He should.
I wish, but he won't.
He should do that just to rub it into Falcons fans.
Yeah, that would be a mic drop moment. All right, Tree. Any final thoughts before we? I
think this might be the 3rd or 4th time I've been canceled in 2 days. So
Nice.
one of these days I might learn, but I probably won't.
Oh, Chiseled was in the chat.
Yeah, he's got
I saw his comment. Who's winning Daytona? Whoever makes the fastest lefts. Just my god.
So Tyreek Hill's winning the Daytona 500. Heard you.
Yeah, he's got the best routes.
Yeah, sure.
Alex Thomas says I'll be here. He's trying to sneak in past the bell, man. We're gonna end the show and then I'll feel.
The ones that usually succeed in sliding in the DMs are usually the last ones that get into the last minute because that's the first thing they see.
Chiseled, by the way, thank you so much for appearing on the show yesterday. He brought it yesterday.
That was cool. Yeah, he was awesome.
We were on for a long time, man. That 8 hours. I don't know if I'll ever do that. I don't know how.
Dude, honestly, it didn't even feel like 8 hours. It breezed by.
True.
Do it next year. Come on, you gotta do it next year.
We might do this. I think the guest list will be even bigger next year because people are gonna want to get in on it.
It's also now you have like a something to reference
thing. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Tree, any final thoughts before we call it a night?
Well, next time going to be in the Super Bowl. I'll probably do a stream for it on Sunday night, but I'm not sure if it's going to be pregame or just during the game or both.
I think you should do it during the game, man. You'll get that.
Yeah, as I said, I did a pregame last year. So
you only did a pregame?
Yeah, I did it last year. I did pregame.
Oh, okay.
I played Madden 95, and like there was that awful bug where like they didn't go for a field goal and they just like let the clock run out when they're still tied. It was like, Jesus Christ.
Well, all right. Thanks, guys, for coming out. Thank you, Iceberg. Eric, please follow me back on Twitter. I don't want to have to beg.
Oh, gosh. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I just followed you. So
show him some respect.
Cool. Thanks for popping in here. Black Flags Matter. Notice how I said all 3 words.
Yeah, you gotta make sure. Yeah, you gotta be careful.
BFF, baby.
BFF. Put on my camera and see if it spaz. Oh, there he is. Spazzing out again.
And Danny B, I'm very sorry, but nothing's gonna fix the Tennessee Volunteers.
Hey, Jeff Fisher can save them. Hire Jeff Fisher. He'll save them.
This is 7 and 9.
We've already took all of UCS people, so
yeah, you'd be the first college team to go 7 and 9. All right, guys. Everybody, thank you. Have a wonderful evening, and thanks to the NASCAR podcast.
Thank you.
All right.
Definitely.